Hello, my Coco. Everyone here for our Waianae Town Hall. The Senator Command report. Now we're going live with you. Patty Teruya behind me. Let's freaking go. Diamond Garcia.
And they'll introduce themselves as well, but we got Senator Brenton Owa, Minority Leader, State Senate, Senator Kim Richards, Chair of the Hawaiian Affairs Committee, Senator Samantha DeCourt, Minority Coordinator, Director Ed Smith, and Department of Transportation.
All the people supposed to answer questions and already paid for the job.
Again, thank you so much for being here. To begin, let's start with what matters most. At this time, I want to invite up Pastor J.D.
Look at my camera.
Our Safety Christian Fellowship to open us up. All right.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for coming to our Safety Community Center. It's a privilege for us to have each and every one of you here tonight. Samantha and all that's taking place. How many of you are looking forward to a good night tonight?
Answers, yeah! Hell yeah!
We're just grateful that we can say a prayer and invite the presence of God and the peace of God upon this place as we come together in one mind and one accord.
Financing, resources, support.
How many of you know that good things and great things come out of that? At this time, we're going to look at prayer tonight and ask God blessings upon tonight. It's okay with all of you. Let's close our eyes and bow our heads tonight. Father God, we thank you. We thank you for the privilege and the opportunity that we, the people of the Waianae Coast, to come together and state of Hawaii, can come together, Father, to talk and to share ideas, Father God, of how you want us to run this state. Father, I ask you to bless our meeting tonight. I thank you for your peace. I thank you for your hedge of protection upon this place. And I thank you, Father, for favor upon the Waianae Coast and the state of Hawaii. Father, we thank you again for a good night, Lord, and thank you again for success that comes out of this meeting. We give you the highest praise. In Jesus' name we pray, and everyone say, amen.
Hallelujah.
Hello, Pastor J.D. Well, thank you again for being here. We're here because Senator Samantha DeCourt, our state senator on the Waianae Coast, has invited us here this evening.
Yeah! Samantha!
I'm going to turn it over now to Senator DeCourt as she'll go over the ground rules for this evening.
Let's go 96792. How you feeling out there?
Hungry!
All right. Yeah, I just want to thank everybody for coming out.
I need you to answer a hardcore question. Can't be open-ended.
From school or from sports.
Human trafficking, drug smuggling, crime. Just say something. They're not going to be like, oh, careful with this one. Careful with that me to tap you.
Is heard loud and clear, and the best way that I can do that is by bringing the state leaders here in the heart of Waianae, in a pillar of Waianae, which is Arc of Safety, that has been so instrumental in the families, in the youth. You know, Pastor Shea and Jerry, Gina, and Pastor
Mike
J.D.
Lambert to the left.
And Mark, they have been such strong advocates here on the Waianae Coast to not just rescue a generation who might be going down the wrong path, but also to strengthen marriages and strengthen families. So when I was deciding on where I was going to have my town hall, I could not think of a better place, but in a house that really is a sanctuary for our community. People come here because they need healing, they need restoration. This truly is a targeted location for our community members.
Wow, lighting sucks. How was your guys' doing?
Healing and unity. So I'm expecting that same atmosphere to take place today. I brought the best of the best out here.
Yeah, it's kind of bad. It's just really dark. Yeah, that's back.
Starting from my right, because I'm bringing out the hammers, okay? You know, like the assistant, you know, like the rash.
She looks cool because it's shadow. I thought all her news lights. I want more light on her. Because, you know, if you look at the footage, it's too dark.
Well, you know, this is what I gotta say. He's been about it from day one. As soon as he got that directorship, it was about opening Palacare Road. It was about opening Koi Pass. It was about making sure that Waianae is a traffic relief that we need, whether that's opening up another access road, opening up another exit or entry point, or opening up our access road. So Ed has been one that I've been able to collaborate. I mean, this guy actually answers my phone. Can you believe some state leaders will answer my call?
Lighting sucks.
And all these people here, they all answer my call. So thank you, Ed, very much for being here. I'm going to take it over
To pay you to
sensationalize you and pander you, and then as soon as you're out the door, it's like, okay, moving on to other things, right? This guy, he gives you his word is bond. So that's why I'm super honored to have Senator Tim Richards, because Waianae 96792 currently is the largest Native Hawaiian hosted population in the state of Hawaii. Come on. So it was very important to Senator Richards that he hear the voice of our lahui. You know, sometimes we're in committee, I'm over there, I'm like, just gassing them, right? Giving them. You guys watch my social media, right? But then it's important that Senator Richards, that he hears it for himself. And it's not just Sam.
On the Big Island.
Like, I know that I have an army behind me, so I want to ensure that we're able to have our voices being heard. And a man that needs no introduction, Senator Brenton Awa.
Brenton!
The guy is about it, right? So this is my former mentor. You know, the guy who really taught me about ethics, about values, about being grounded, about having good character, about not compromising. You know, because even though you don't think you're compromising, sometimes an innocent decision, or an innocent handshake, or an innocent phone call, or an innocent meeting can actually obligate you to your goal. So I'm so thankful that Senator Awa holds the values that our minority caucus stands by today to ensure that we don't sell our people out for white envelopes, for new developments, for people that want to come and mine our deep seas, to make sure that Hawaiians actually get their homes and they're not being put on the side because people care more about the developer price than they do the actual native Hawaiians. So, let's give it up for Senator Brenton Awa.
Gentrification.
Very good, awesome. Okay, so we're going to do things a little unconventional today. We're going to have our Q&A session. You know, you folks are here because there's some things you got to get off your chest.
Oh,
right?
yes.
You got to get some things off your chest or what? No?
Yes, hell yeah!
Yeah, that's what
I got a lot.
If there's anything about Waianae we know, we have a lot to say.
Oh, yes.
Right? We got a lot to say.
Hell yes.
It's very important that we're able to make sure that we get to your concerns ASAP. So part of doing that is making sure that we skip through the presentations. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Mike. That we skip through the presentations and we get straight to your questions and your concerns. But before I do that, I also want to acknowledge the very key leaders that are also here in this room. Because some of us may not have a question about transportation, about Hawaiian affairs, maybe
crime, human trafficking, extortion.
Education. So I'm so honored to have here tonight the Department of Education. If you wouldn't mind standing, we have our Complex Area Superintendent, Disa Hagi. Give her a round of applause. The Deputy Superintendent, Heidi Armstrong.
Caucasian.
I know the Waianae coach very well. She's so awesome. She comes out here all the time. And then we have also Audrey Higado, if you wouldn't mind standing. This woman has been able to help us with our facility. And she always answers my call. Audrey, you're the best. You're the best. Also, we have Office of Hawaiian Affairs.
Oha.
We could introduce
Hi,
you
Kahele.
to Trustee Kahele Akana. She is our Ōlelo
Akana! Yay! We have chance.
We always see her at our neighborhood board. She's always here. She's always present, which is very important to us.
She cares.
Then we have CEO of OHA, Stacey Ferreira.
Stacey, we love you, Maui, Lahaina, yeah,
you know what she
Pikachu remembers.
She made it a point to make sure that she listens to the voices of the 96792. Again, being the largest Native Hawaiian homestead population, it's important that we
in the world
our leaders to face our way to make sure that we get the appropriation resources that Waianae needs. All right. Okay, so let me pass it over to Haima. If you wouldn't mind standing, Don, and where's your team? Don Abiel and his team is down there. Yes, so Don
is Muraoka right there in the team. Got the Waianae board, Teruya, everyone in the background. Everything's going to be quiet. There's Teri, Savaiinaea right there. We got the cows right there.
Okay, thank you so much for being here. Also, we have Ellen Pyle, who is one of our strongest supporters up here. We have Alicia, very important.
Yeah, I expect strong questions from you two ladies.
Are we being here? We know here on the Waianae Coast that there's a lot of actions going on military land. First and foremost, Moku's lease is ending in 2029. We need to make sure that lease ends. we need to make sure that when the lease is
Show me your
returned,
son.
and they clean it up. So there's a lot of passionate conversations, I can say, that we're starting to have with the Army, but they're here for it. So if I could just introduce Colonel Rachel Sullivan and her staffer, she was doing Shelby. She's so excited. Yes, she loves being here. And then also, this one I have here is, oh, there you are, Sharon. And then we have Department of Agriculture. Yes, please, Sharon, where you going to send that. She's been so helpful.
How a real news journalist does it.
And then also our state representative, Chris Muraoka. Yeah, so he loves the spotlight. he goes, time. He's sitting in the back, I don't know, he's sitting in the front. We have your son. For you. But you know, Chris is somebody who is not.
Oh, the lighting's better. Lighting's way better.
And it's important that we know that when we elected him in office, he is somebody that is going to be boots on the ground. So when we had our fires, when we had our tsunamis, I mean, this guy comes with machines. You know, I come and knock on your door.
Trailers.
I don't call big machines. So I come knock on your door, ART, okay, good. Rado over here coming, bulldozing fire breaks over here. So, you know, he really represents the heart of Waianae, and I'm so honored to team up with him.
Yeah, you, Chris.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I think we're gonna get straight into the Q&A. What do you think?
Hey, you. Oh, Pikachu will go first.
Okay,
let's rock and roll.
Okay, guys. So we are going to be doing a few things. When you come up to the microphone, Representative Garcia is going to give some instructions, but we're going to put a timer. So when you go up and you ask your question, make sure you stay within the time. And when you're done, then you're going to exit stage left. If you have another question, you can come back and stand in line, because it's very important that everybody's voices are being heard. And we want to make sure we give everybody equal time. So Representative Garcia is going to be here to usher along the time and make sure that we get all the questions that were being asked. Also, you see a QR code on your screen. If you don't want to go to the microphone and ask your question, please go ahead and submit your question. I have my team in the back row that is printing out your questions in real time. So if you want to go ahead and put that through online, you can do that as well. So are you guys ready for the Q&A?
Let's go.
I don't know, Tim. Do you think they're ready? Okay, all right, let's do it. Go ahead, Diamond.
All right, here we go. So again, if you have a question, Senator, the court, they can line up at this microphone in the center, right? Okay. All right, just go to the line up at
Pikachu right here. Oh yeah.
Any question? But
Pikachu has a question.
I want to go through one of our questions which were submitted via. Oh yes, the Kupuna. Where is the Kupuna?
Good.
Kupuna's first. Any Kupuna have a question?
Sorry, if you are Kupuna in here,
Auntie Georgie.
age 65 and older, we want to give you the opportunity to line up to the microphone first.
60 plus, 60 plus. Auntie Georgie.
Malia will walk to you. Malia will walk to you.
You qualify, bro.
So if you are Kupuna, if you
your
want to line
son's
up
law.
first, you can. If you want to raise your hand, Malia will be there. And then if not, you can go ahead and
You gotta say it. You're Duke's dad.
Come. Oh, we got one more and then we'll come to you. There we go.
As we go.
This is for Director Stiffen. You know, just recently there was some confusion over the rerouting of the Sea Country Express, and somehow or another the 40 got involved in all of that. Maybe you could clarify. You know, there was a lot of conversation about, oh no, they're going to change the routes to encourage people to ride the rail and things like that. And I don't think that's the story, but maybe you can clarify that.
So, I'll say that I'll try to answer this. This is a silly question.
Yeah, Mayor.
For the island. There are full attempts to ensure that they run a hub and spoke. So the intent was not to change the
That's bullshit. It's off.
So
To justify the $20 billion budget for the rail.
Clarification from the city on how they're going to be running the express route until the time that rail starts running on that portion. And they'll get back to Senator.
All right, we'll James Cole, go ahead.
Good evening, my name is James Cole, so everybody knows. I'm
Dad, you have to go to honor Duke.
Also,
That's your son.
And VFW post.
Tell him however you feel.
But I have a question for you. I've been trying to
Tell him about your son. They're voting the bill as a law for your son. You gotta say something to honor Duke. 449. SP 1249. 1249. Because you Kupuna, you should say something. Just go behind James.
We get people that fly
We're
down
gonna
there.
honor you. I got your back.
And we get kids walking on the side of the road. Then people are trying to talk to them, they don't care. What you want to do is try to get some speed bumps put on that street. We got speed bumps on Kupuna, Alex on my street, St. John's. I live right down the road, about 5 blocks away from my elementary school. And I'm surprised, I lived there almost 15 years, I'm surprised no kid has been hit yet. Even school buses flying down that road. I yelled at one bus driver to slow down. She stopped right in front of me, opened the door, gave me the finger. Stuck the finger in. So what kind of ethic is that? I'm trying to show the kids.
Who?
What?
No, Tim Richards. Senator Tim Richards. He helped champion the bill. If you can honor your son. Because now we have to go to ag crimes, right? It's not only Duke's law, but it helps protect all agricultural farmers. But you can say, what about as the father? You're here to honor your son. You can fuck the ag crimes. But we're here to honor your son. Dad. We're here to honor Duke.
Yeah, so speed humps is the best. And I love speed humps. So you see them quite a ways. Hey, let me ask, and I asked this before, how many people have gone over speed humps so far? I mean,
Everybody, if you go to Nanakuli, you gotta cross it over.
How many people like it?
None of us.
Yeah, how many people don't like it? I really don't care. I really don't care.
It's $300,000 a speed
I
bump.
will tell you, I don't give a shit because
Yeah, you is.
I'll tell you, there is no other way for me to slow people down so that people don't die. That's it. So
European speed bumps where it drops below, not up.
St. John's Road is a city road. The best way to do it is work with your legislators and make a request to the city to copy me. Because we've been putting
City and council
for
stuff.
the counties in different areas. Right now we're working with Diamond on the Boulevard as well to make sure we try to get over there. So in these different areas where it's a city road, you don't have to worry with the city or state. Just let your legislator know. We'll work with the city on it. If they cannot do it fast enough, we'll take care of it.
The mic.
Yeah, it's better to go through your state representative and your senator, and that request goes to the city, and they'll copy the council member in that district. You'll get a lot
James,
more.
because Andrew Topola sucks. That's why I'm not getting answers from
Director
City and County.
Stephen, our next Kupuna, please state your question.
Say your name and tell him, Dad.
My name is Mahalo Nui. I just want to honor my son, SB 1249. It was passed, signed by the governor, and I really want to thank the committee, senators, and who spent a lot of time at the Capitol.
Yeah.
And by all means, I had learned a lot from that. And I just want to say, I don't think any of your parents wants to go through what I have gone through. My wife, my ex-wife, and I, but it was very, very hard. Let me tell you, hard. And I want to double thank you, Mahalo, for everything. And hopefully, with this bill, and we can see some action, and some of them people put away the bad people. Thank you.
There you, Dad. Yoo-hoo.
I'll make a quick comment on that.
Oh, Tim Richards.
249, Senate Bill 1249 is now Duke's law. That's the
Hey-oh.
across.
Yeah, Senator Richards. Yoo-hoo, Big Island. Moku Kea, baby.
And when we started out, we didn't know exactly how this was going to happen. It was a combination of 4 bills. I met with the family just days after that tragedy happened. a game I've heard of, not let it go, make something happen. And today, we have a pilot project, we have Director Lambert here, we're rolling this out, and this is all, we're not gonna let Duke's memory go, because this galvanized us to do something different, set up agriculture for success. So I appreciate the words of that, but my colleagues have to get it across the finish line, so thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Our next kupuna.
60 plus. If you get Social Security, you qualify.
All right, is that it for our kupuna? Are there any other kupuna here who has a question? Okay, yep, over here.
Richard Lanford, Georgie, you guys gotta say something. Come on.
State your name, Nancy.
I know exactly where I gotta go.
My name is Muraoka. I hail from the Moku from the Waianae family. My question, I have a farm here on the Waianae coast. My question has to do with Act 236, and that is directed to Senators Awa and Senator Samantha DeCourt. So, I read this bill.
Your sign is right in my camera, which is good.
And I'm very concerned over the fact that it has a broad biosecurity emergency without oversight. That
Oh, right there, you're on my camera.
there are things written in this bill that will invade my privacy. It conflicts with the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the 14th Amendment of due process. It is a tyrannical bill, I believe. I just saw a podcast that featured Harriet Hagman, who is the U.S. representative in Congress. And she owns a farm, and there were some bills that were introduced into Congress. And it was a bill that would allow the federal government, the state government, to interfere with the production of their products, whether it be livestock or whether it be agriculture. And they have full authority to go onto your property and do whatever they want under the guise of biosecurity. There's no real guidelines because in the bill it states certain things, but it also has a broad spectrum of other. And we don't know what other means. They can produce that. Whatever they choose to do, they can do that, and they can take your property away.
Thank you. Senator Awal?
I didn't hear a question.
Or Senator DeCourt?
I'll start. So I understand your concern. I supported the bill because of the biosecurity.
Chulo, Mami Chulo.
I
You better answer a question. You're
I
in the
came
council.
into government because of agriculture, rooted by agriculture. I'm also a veterinarian, so I deeply understand the problems, the invasiveness of some of our pests, and also some of the concerns. I don't disagree that you have your concerns about the invasion of your privacy and your ability to produce going forward. But on the other side of that, we have invasive species that if we don't get our arms around them very, very quickly, they take off. Look at the coconut rhinoceros beetle. Actually, it's statewide now, what they call the fireweed,
Came from Vietnam.
Synestia madagascaris. If we don't get our arms around this thing very, very quickly,
You gotta eat it.
that's the problem. Now, I don't think any bill that we pass,
No, you didn't write a bill about Sierra.
it has problems we have to go back and fix. If you have
We're gonna work
a
on this
specific
before.
concern on this, because this involves agriculture, it also involves freedoms, I am very willing to go back and work on it. Even Duke's law that we're talking about, we got that because we needed it, but we need to tweak some more on that. So there may be something we need to address.
Pilot
I'm
program.
very, very happy to work on that.
Thank you, Senator Richards. Anyone else want to address this question? Thank you, Nancy. That was a
I applaud
great
him.
question.
I wrote the bill.
Okay, any other kupuna? Any other kupuna who has a question? Yep.
Calvin and Doe, Richard Lanford, why not board? That's what British people. Fun it.
What I never before. I was gonna say anyway. You know what? You mentioned the speed bumps. I got another solution. I was in Anaheim. They have these
throwing dips in the road. I think too purposely. When the heavy rains come, it flows, you have to slow down. So
The speed bumps drop like Europe. They don't go up. Is what it's referring to.
Yeah, so we did those.
It drops.
When we start putting in dips in areas where we already have a road, we're going to change the bed.
Right.
Okay. So when we build the road, we use the dips. In the existing road, we put on the Thank you. Thank you for the question, Uncle. Anyone else? Any other kupuna? Yes. Blanca Larson.
You can speak in Spanish.
Muchas gracias. Mahalo, senators, all of you guys for coming all the way from across there. My name is Blanca Larson, and I am
Closer, Mike. Closer.
My name is Blanca Larson, and I am the Republican Party District Chair. And I have a question. This bill, the Act 236, is already a law. I didn't even know that this was a law. So I feel this was rushed. So my question to you is there anything I can do as a concerned citizen to reverse this law? Because it just came a law already. So will appeal will help? And what will it take to do an appeal? How much will it cost? Will the people in here have to be involved? My concern is that I feel that we were not involved. I didn't even know this law until 2 weeks ago. Mahalo.
Thank you. Thank you for the question.
Thank you. Thank you, Blanca. I just want to jump in and echo what Senator Richard had said. There's definitely some areas of this bill that we have to make some tweaks to. So I don't want to repeat what it is that he said, but I definitely know that we on this panel would agree that there are some tweaks that need to be made with that bill. So I know as far as me and representing the 96792, that I will advocate to have that looked into. But if you're not from 96792, get in touch with your state senator and let them know, because now is the time that we're starting to make these preparations for next legislative session. So
that's next year.
Thank you. All right, any other kupuna? If you have a question, just raise your hand and Leah will bring you the mic. Going once.
Oh, okay.
Any other kupuna? Going twice.
Okay, Pikachu ready for 3.
Any other kupuna? Going 3 times. Okay, I think we're going to open it up now for
hell yeah!
To
Pikachu.
Ask one of the questions which was submitted through QR code. So
QR
one
code.
of those questions submitted here this evening is question: if committing a crime is illegal and punishable by law, why are there 0 consequences for people living in parks and government areas and no trespassing areas? I'm going to punt this over to Director Lambert.
So it's one of those where it depends on what the actual offense is. So I know there's a lot of frustration when it comes to homelessness, when it comes to general theft. But the issue is that it's up to the judges. So I think, for example, when I was in the Honolulu Police Department, they execute about 20,000 arrests per year. But after that, it goes into the legal process. So
lawyers and
every
bullshit.
law is determined on the offense itself. So for example, trespassing, depending on the situation, is either a petty misdemeanor or misdemeanor. If it's a petty misdemeanor, you can only put somebody in jail for 30 days. And because of the way that the justice system works here, they typically go much less than that. If it's a full misdemeanor, you only have up to a year. And same thing, they predominantly just give probation for that. So it's a very frustrating thing, something that I'm going to try to look for or try to introduce this year is a habitual habitation law, which basically means that if you are constantly caught up doing these things that, unfortunately occur when you're homeless, and we're not trying to be mean to anyone, but we definitely want to retake areas that are meant for public. In other words, on my way here, obvious, right, that park is no longer open to the public, it's been overrun. I can see if you live in that area and just enjoy that beach, it's very frustrating. But the only way we can do that is to try to look at habitual laws, which we don't have as it pertains to that type of habitation.
Thank you so much, Director. All right, our next question. We have a hey.
Oh, hell yeah. Yes, okay. Hello, my Kako, everybody. Great to see y'all here. Obviously, you already got my email, seen on social media. I'm concerned about human trafficking, drug smuggling, and I want to, before you guys pass off to Mike Lambert, I don't want to put him on pressure. I called DOLE today because I reported U.S. Marshal Justin Davis, organ harvesting human children, kids. What's the line? Oh, yeah.
18 and under for $500,000 a kidney. Now, the Department of Law Enforcement, Kerry, called me back today from Criminal Investigation Department and said they don't handle that kind of stuff. I know you guys are state, but this is a federal level. So what can you guys do to help us combat human trafficking, drug smuggling on the international level?
Thank you for the question.
So currently the Department of Law Enforcement doesn't have a unit specifically for human trafficking, just like the counties have. So what will happen is the closest that they have to state level is the ICAP, Internet Crimes Against Children. That's actually a function of the Attorney General's office. There has been discussions of perhaps the DOLE absorbing that, at which point we would be more involved. And I think that prior to coming over to the state, I was the city narco major. And I think many of you guys have heard that when I talk about human trafficking, particularly with minors, I think it's the most egregious offense, right up there with murder. So, I have no sympathy for it, but unfortunately under our current structure, we do not directly participate. However, we can take complaints and make those connections for Homeland Security investigations, which do human trafficking, as well as our FBI, depending on what the circumstances are.
All right, thank you, Director. Thank you for the question. All right, next question.
Aloha. Thank you for being here to address our concerns. I also am going to go ahead and piggyback on that Act 236. I have concerns also as a concerned citizen. We're not doubting whether it's a basic species. The problem that we have, I think I can speak for
We'll get them.
power. I think we in the state of any state should help.
There you are. I knew the board was hidden somewhere. Why are you chilling out here? You want to be inside?
I'm hoping. But that was a sad answer for that question.
It was quick because I already reported it live. But the court martial, it's a martial. It's federal. It's not state. It's not city. It's not county. And they're just selling your daughter or my daughter's case for $500,000. If I want to fucking diesel his fucking house, we're done. But I want to see what they got to say. You know what I mean? If that was your daughter, your niece, or your grandpa, that shit would be toast. We still have bentos? That's amazing.
Yes.
Did you have any questions to ask them? I called your office. You didn't pick up because you probably weren't in.
No, I don't go back to. I just got in from Phoenix.
This morning. It's not your fault. But, you know, me and Diamond talked a couple weeks ago. Hey, Pikachu, what this DC thing? I said, bro, I don't got a problem with you. Oh, my son, I got a problem with Samantha. And I talked to Brenton last week. I said, bro, how the fuck do you plan to beat Joe Kupuna? You already know they rigged the fucking election, 19,000 fucking votes on Big Island. So what's your plan? Oh, I gotta raise $2 million, Pikachu. Now we're one-on-one. Brenton, you gotta raise $2 million? Why the fuck so much money to get 170 for a fucking job? Oh, Pikachu, I just want to pull data. So what you mean, bro? Well, we ran with no fucking budget last fucking election last year. You understand? Yeah, I know what you mean, bro. Yeah, because Brenton no, but if Brenton even runs, he doesn't lose his job as senator. He's back. For years. Of course, I can talk to you straight.
Remember, only 7 months they didn't sign. Things were moved 7 months because we worked on it. Remember? The promise we're going to work with what we have. The one way we can do it. We do not be up against
You know, I accept onions, Diet Coke, green tea, and chips. Oh, yeah, too. You don't give me shit. You can get nothing from me. Zero.
So there's several things that we're already doing with the and some of the things are and one of those is that Omaha actually gave $90 million to the Department of Hawaiian Homelands for infrastructure. So many of the Hawaiian homesteads that are currently being built out today across the Savaiinaea are infrastructure projects that Omaha is actually funding. And so towards that loan, towards that debt service for DHHL, we provide them $6 million annually, right? And so there's lots of things that are being put in terms of infrastructure, whether that's sewer lines, electrical, roadways, various things to ensure that homes can be built on the various homesteads. Some of the things that we're doing with Chair Watson now is we're looking at Kahanamoku. And is there an opportunity for us to reimagine residential on those lands as well? So one of the things that we have in our current budget is a hydrologist. And the reason that a hydrologist was brought on is because OHA has taken the issue of water diversion on Hawaiian homelands very seriously.
Yes.
And I'll give you an example. In Anahola, right now, from Mauka to Makai, no water flows.
Yes.
And there's no homesteads, no pastoral homesteads that are being built because there's no potable water, there's no water for agriculture, Makai, and there's a sand flood right now down by the beach. And what's happening is because there's no water flow, the coral reefs are dying and no emu is growing.
Yes.
So they're having to cultivate that manually. And we say, I'll look into that. That's not right. And the plantations have these leftover diversions that we need to go in and we need to figure out how to reconstruct our waterways so the natural flow of water can occur. But we need a hydrologist to help us do that. And so while Hawaiian Homelands is looking at all of these various projects, because they have a timeline. They have $600 million that they have to spend, and these guys are holding them to task for that. So there are things that OHA can do. So we can look at the things that are going to take a little bit longer, and that's okay. So we can put resources towards those kinds of projects like water diversion so that we can get our homesteaders on right now. The other thing that we're talking with Director Hurd is about Kalapu Reservoir on Muraoka and getting water to Waianae homesteaders. So even though OHA may not be building the homes, we are looking at projects and putting resources in places where we can get the island freed up so that we can get infrastructure like water, basics, right? So our homesteaders can get their homes up and running. We also have
I'm not going to talk about infrastructure, corruption, real estate.
And so what we're doing is we're getting contractors certified with DHHL so that they can fly over to Molokai, to those homesteaders who want to build their own homes, so that they don't have to wait. But DHHL has requirements to be a contractor to be able to build our homestead lands. So we are actually paying for those contractors to get certified so that they can go over to Molokai and help those homesteaders build. So there's various projects that may not be as obvious as actual homes that are being built, but we are trying, we are doing our best to really get behind acquiring homes so that we can get homes there on Ōlelo. And we're not going to stop.
I know you don't believe this bullshit. Neither do I. Like, come on. You're white and I am brown. I don't believe in this crap you're saying. I'm like, funding, resources, supplies. Are you going to give us anything, or are you going to wait till next year and take all our data, push our legislative Republican taxes? Well, I'm glad to talk about the water, but that's about it.
So I just wanted to piggyback off of Oha. I didn't realize you guys did that much. So this is a question I'd asked the AHL. I didn't ask you, the AHL. I talk to it a bit different. I don't talk politics. I talk street. Yeah, we're dreaming at the 10,000 foot level. But what about the boarded up houses? We have several hundred right here in Waianae, Kahanamoku homesteads. How about reopening those houses for people on the list? Get them in quicker. That's real life tactics that we can do.
So one of the other budget items that our Board of Trustees approved for our biennium was a home repair budget. And so this is where we're going to, it's a pilot, so we're starting off about $250,000, but we're going to continue to grow that. And it's to look at homes on the homesteads that we can get repairs done. So one, our Kupuna can age in place. I think that's really important, and looking at health and safety. So for those homes that are boarded up because either no more windows anymore, or the roofs are falling in, or big holes in the floor, so people are having to be, cannot even get out to go to doctor's appointments because they don't have a ramp. So OLA has put money into our budget so that we can make those kinds of health and safety repairs funding available to our homesteaders. Because we want our homesteads to be safe, and we want them to be healthy, and we want our Kupuna and our keiki to be able to thrive in the homes that they have. And there's also in the front, if you didn't grab one of our flyers, we also have an emergency fund. And so those emergency funds are not just for homesteaders, but for all beneficiaries. And that is to help with medical costs. If you need repairs on your car, if you need funeral costs, assistance. There's lots of different ways that OLA can also help, just beneficiaries in general, not just our homesteaders.
I just want to add really quick since we're on that topic. Thank you, OLA, for just appropriating funds to DHHL to repair homes. I also want to mention, this is very important, that DHHL is also getting the HASA funds. Those are federal funds that are specifically there to help homesteaders fix and repair their homes. That money is for down payments for homesteaders and waitlisters to put down to purchase their homes. So there's a lot of money that's being put into this bucket to help beneficiaries. So I just want to put this out here. If you are a current beneficiary and you are living in a home that needs repair and you are not getting the support you need from DHHL, please email my office, please call my office, because we want to work with DHHL to make sure that our homesteads are livable, they're decent, they're safe, and we can actually pass them on to our next generation. Okay? Thank you.
Next question to the microphone.
Hi guys. Hello, my kako Ōlelo Makanoi Koinoa. I live in Makaha, and I have a really loaded question. And it's for anybody and everybody that can answer it. Alright. The rising federal tariffs that are driving up the cost of living here. Food, housing, essentials, all becoming more expensive right now for Hawaiian families. At the same time, Medicaid cuts are coming for our health care and for our critical mental health services that many of our homeless and many of all of us use, especially here in Waianae. Without these supports, more people will risk losing stable housing and spiraling into a crisis, which often leads to the increased crime in our communities. How will you break this dangerous cycle of poverty, homelessness, and rising crime that threatens the safety and well-being of the Hawaii residents in Waianae?
Thank you for the question. So just to recap, tariff.
some of you may know that in June, myself, Senator Awan, Representative Patrick Garcia went up to meet with federal leaders to find out really what is happening to those federal dollars and how is it affecting us here in Waianae. I will say that we did see the Department of Health, and the Department of Health did say that those that don't qualify anymore for Medicaid, is that what it is? I'm not sure.
If they have a job, they qualify.
Yes, I apologize. So those that no longer qualify for Medicare are no longer paid, are no longer able to keep the Medicaid.
Medicaid,
And I
Medicare,
are not
ABC.
flowing to this response. I rarely follow what's happening on a federal level. I am mainly prioritizing and focused on the issues that are happening here in Waianae on the state level. Because that's actually what I have influence and what I have authority over. So if my response is coming out in a slow kind of trickling down way, I apologize about that. But yeah.
They're in charge of federal.
Because there was a lot in that budget. You can rephrase it, and I can answer one part of it, but go ahead, one more time. What do you want to know out of all of that?
Ask them a question.
The tariffs are raising prices. There's no end in sight. We already know that we pay these tariffs, and the prices are going up. Nothing's going to be taken away. Wages are not going up. All of this is going to land on us. Every single person in this place is one paycheck away from being homeless. All of us is one mortgage short from being homeless. None of you have said anything since this all started. My youngest son is special needs. His path got cut in Mahalo. None of you said anything since this started. And I've been calling you out on Instagram. I've been telling you guys to speak up. Talk for us. We live in the most vulnerable part of Hawaii. We shouldn't be. We shouldn't be. We should be the top of Hawaii. All the Native Hawaiians in this corner should be running it. We should be. But now we got this. All these Kupuna in here get Medicare, yes? Medicaid? Yes? Yes? Now they're facing possible cuts. And it's true, I read the entire big, beautiful bill.
Okay, so the question was, back to your question,
Sorry.
Senator Walker.
I am so passionate about this and thinking about my son, like, oh. But it's really the rising prices and how that's going to influence the crime rate is going to go up.
Yes.
Homelessness is going to go up. Medical is going down.
Yes.
This is all, especially not only in Waianae, this is all the Hawaiian community. All around. And I haven't heard you guys talk for us since this started. And I see, and so that's what I want to know. What's your plan? When are you going to start talking? And it's okay. It's okay that the president is part of your party. But it's okay to question when something is wrong. It's okay to face it. You can question your own party.
Senator Walker. Thank you for waiting. I'll start with the first one. I think one of the most important things that you're asking is, hey, why are you guys not talking more on what's happening in Washington?
What's happening in Washington is coming here.
I know the trickle-down effect is what you're getting at, but if I could just the first part of the question. If I can make the easiest analogy possible from what we know, I wish everybody could know what we know. But the problem is, that all the information that we know of, it gets trickled into the public and not taken for a public. The tariffs. And a lot of the other information that you see in the media, like it says the fear and anxiety that you must have on So, okay, good that you read the bill, get it from the source. But I can tell you, an analogy for you, growing up, on the radio, Hawaii gets the songs, maybe a couple couple months later, and getting their release in California. It's like a delay. So our government, and thinking about it, from what I see experience, the government, also what I say experience as being in the media. So the government still does a good job here of filtering the information that comes through and putting out what they don't like, and not actually all of the information. So no one bill is perfect. We fight exactly what you're doing all the time. We're in the minority. We fight for our lives. People call me racist for standing up for them. But going back to the first part of why I'm not speaking so much on it, is because a lot of the triggers down here and people that are here of losing medical is based off of partial information. So there's a lot of fear being spread, just like in the pandemic. And why don't we say it? Because I don't have a crystal ball like you. You get up here and you said some things that were factual. To me anyway, many of us might be on the one paycheck away from being homeless, for sure. A lot of us. But a lot of things that you might not want to hear that. I will let you know. When you're talking about tariffs and being paid, the tariffs, you understand that doing business as a country is still a bit wrong when it comes to business. From other countries. So what it was doing, and I'm not trying to like back everything, I'm just explaining what we see. No, it's okay. You can back the president. I'm also at his. No, I don't back. Compared his tariffs to. Okay, hang on. I don't want to get this too far. I know a lot of people are going to but answer the question. If you want, and I know you reached out on social media to all of us, like you said. I did give you my phone number. I said, come on, I can have this whole discussion with you offline. I would love to have a discussion with more people that see it from your point of view, because frankly, from my experience being in the news, being in government, seeing behind the person, and knowing all of what I know on both Washington and here, it would be very valuable for someone like you who continues to spread your message of your interpretation of bills and whatnot to get it this side of the information. So if you would, and I don't know if everybody wants this conversation to continue, I'm fine with going, but I do feel like I've taken a lot of time away from Sam and the business that we have here. But if you want, my number, by the way, you got it, right? You got it. If you don't, get me over here, call me up right after we have a late discussion on my drive back to the resort. Call me all now.
All right, there you go. Sounds good. Senator Richards,
let me just add a few things because I hear your concerns. The state budget's $19.9 billion, $14.20 billion, $21 billion next year. And the concerns about the cuts for SNAP benefits, for food bank, food basket, etc. Back in, I think it was April, the Lieutenant Governor asked me to go to D.C. with a talk about this to Secretary of Ag. We raised the concerns because as a state, we're about 30% food insecure, meaning about 1 out of 3 animals are not sure we're going to have it. 1 out of 3 families are not sure we're going to have it. Big Island is worse. We're 40% food insecure. We cut the SNAP benefits, and then we cut the benefits to our food basket, food bank. How can we stand on the side? This is a concern. I met with the military, and we discussed this because one of the problems is the fastest growing demographic using our food banks is the military families. They can't make it either. And I put all this before Secretary Rollins and raised a concern. The short answer is we as a state are financially secure, and we can coast through the next year and stand things up and take care of the programs. I'm very sorry about special needs being cut because I've got some very good friends that are in the same position you are. The funding for the food for our people is shaky, but we have enough to get through for the short term. The question is next year. And I don't have an answer for you now. I'm very happy to have the conversations. And though we maybe disagree on some things, we agree on taking care of all the people. So,
thank you, Senator. Okay, moving on to the next question, which was submitted through QR code. This is for the Department of Education. Question: why do the schools on the Waianae coast that there is such a differentiation of resources and some schools lack so much as Mahalo High and Intermediate? I guess the question is, why is there a difference in resources between Mahalo High and Waianae?
Okay, I'll go ahead and pass it over to our contact area superintendent, Lisa Harvey.
Aloha, everyone. The state has a system by which funds are distributed to each school based on enrollment. So when a school has 2,000 kids, it gets a lot more than a school that has 1,000 kids. There are other factors that can even things out.
Thank you so much, Pat. I'll add to that because I have had some parents really come to me with concerns. And so, that's it's a very disheartening when you hear something like, not putting that much enrollment. I know for a fact that our facility has been affected for a while now. As a matter of fact, when I continue to walk the grounds over there, I see that ACs are out, roads are leaking, water fountains are out, trash cans are nowhere to be found. I mean, it's really heartbreaking to see the kids that have to go to school there. Not to mention, we just recently had buses canceled. I mean, it's one thing after the other with Mahalo Nui, and it pains me when parents come to me and they can't get the basic necessities for their students that are going to this school, not to mention, just the safety issues, the facilities, the parking lot. I mean, Mahalo Nui has been very neglected, and I'll say that up front. And it's not because of the people there that don't care. Because I get some great students, great teachers who give above and beyond. I know faculty and staff there that are alumni, and they give their own money out of their own pocket to make sure that the kids have what they need. So would the state do better? As a matter of fact, they absolutely can. But what I will say is there is a process to asking for state funding. It's called CIP, Capital Improvement Project. And this is where the school will ask the state for money specifically for certain areas. And I will say here on record that one of the things really is lacking in being able to ask specifically for funding for specific areas. So I will continue to work with Mahalo Nui High School to make sure that they put in their request to make sure that these facilities are safe for our kids to go to school in. That they have locker rooms that are not getting backed up because the plumbing does not work. They have a football field that they can play games on that they're not tripping over because there's holes. They can run their track that's not peeling up from a track that was just put in 7 years ago. So I will continue to work with Mahalo Nui, but if you have a student that goes to Mahalo Nui and if you're just really frustrated with what's happening over there, please get in touch with my office because we want to collaborate with Mahalo Nui and with the Department of Education. This is why when I got elected, my first ask was to be on the Department of Education to make sure that Mahalo Nui, Waianae, Kahanamoku, all of the schools, all of the 9 public schools on the Waianae coast look exactly like the schools up at Mauka, the schools that we.
I was number 1. Just get out of you were like number 3, number 4. How long is this road?
Why? Because they do treat us different. Why? I don't know. Maybe it is because of the enrollment.
Racism,
regardless of the
prejudice.
fact, our kids should never ever lack the basic resources when they go to school. And our parents should never have to second guess when they send their kids to school to make sure they're number 1 in a safe environment. Number 2, they're getting the quality education that they need that every other student in this state gets. So I'll say that. Thank you.
Senator. All right, next question.
Aloha, my name is Ginger.
Okay, you guys are going to have to see Malia's back.
So I know there is many people that thought about this. So my thing is, here is my problem. I am, like how you guys sit on my top and you guys say, yeah, that from us. I am the middleman. I'm the little one. I'm the one who gave you that. I insulted that and it's on the beach. You know how you said you came in, you see all them people? Well, that's my people that I take care of. I made a really good rapport with them, but here is my problem. I have a lot of my kupunas out there who is on Social Security. I cannot get them in one place. Why? Because they don't make twice the amount of income.
To qualify.
The only cheapest one that I have here, and it is a studio, and it's down at Kulia Ikanuku in my mind, because my kupunas now I live here is $9.44.
Oof. You don't get paid that much. You don't make that much Social Security.
And they only can cover one. So therefore,
Ole.
will stay out there because they do not qualify for home, allow for home, nothing wrong with home.
Yeah, 90
They're my
days.
girls, because when I call it, they come in clutch. They're the only ones that will know my people out, whether they get mental health or they want kupuna. But the problem with my kupuna is they can't get off that ground. And yes, they live out there, but they're not on the ground. We make beds for them. So, I don't know how we can solve it. There is no one fix all kind teams. But we gotta look at the housing prices, I feel.
Yes.
If Kulia Ikanuku is the only place that I can offer my kupunas, that is sad. Because how they will come out, no more bus.
No more bus.
Not all of them know or educated enough to go and do that. They say, Kiki, you don't catch Uncle Fred Frosty.
Ha. Yeah.
So, really was solution. I don't know, I cannot come up with any solution. I don't know, you know how many kupunas I gotta walk away. I cannot help you actually. Even when mental health, I cannot help you unless I take away the rates. Is there other solutions that we can come up with?
Yo.
Thank you for the question. Solutions on homelessness. Some of this sidebar stuff. So just so you guys know background, I live on the department. I'm outreach unit here, and our team created a home. So it's something that I'm very passionate about.
90 days only.
It's one of those things where although my job is to enforce, I want to be fair. So in other words, if I gotta take you to jail, I want to know that I also had option A. You chose option B, but I always try to make it fair. So some of the things that the Govs team has been working on since I came over is because we specialize in those type of connecting programs for those that are basically violating the law overnight. Is that there's discussions of asking the federal government for money. They're going to call it a super home, but what it's going to be is for individuals like what she was sharing, or Ginger was sharing with, is that the home was meant to kind of transition someone that's already kind of living in that tent environment into a more structured tent environment, and then moved on into something more traditional. But the idea of the super home would be, it would be more like modular homes, very similar to KU Village, or the Sand Island project that Connie Mitchell used to run. So a little more hardened, and others didn't have beds for people that, I guess the term is everyday activities, right? They'll be able to do their ELs and whatnot. So we are looking at that kind of gap for those type of people. The hard part is that, just like for me, right? I'm born and raised in Kaneohe. I can't afford to live in Kaneohe. I live in Kupuna, right? So when people are struggling, they have to also be fair against what options are available to them and work their way back. So, I've already told my fiance that, my parents are getting older. Hopefully there's equity in my home, and then I'll be able to earn the right to go back to live to Kaneohe. So we have to be, with our homeless people, our homeless population, we have to be very empathetic, but we also have to be realistic that not everybody gets to live where they want to live. And if the journey is for them to go somewhere else first, stabilize, and then come back, then that's their journey, just as with mine. In other words, it shouldn't be any different for any of us. Not everyone here lives where they want to live, they live where they can afford. And the goal is to get back to who it is, or whatever their goal is, to earn that. So it's one of those things we have to communicate that with people. Ideally, they would be able to stay where they can, but because land is so sparse here and so valued, it's not like a mainland where you can just plop one up somewhere and nobody's going to get upset. This community is kind of torn in where it wants support systems to be placed, and that's what makes it very difficult. And there really is no solution that's going to make everyone happy. But to let you guys know, we are working at it at the governor's level, and
I talked to the mayor's team, I told them about out here, they're gonna need some love. But the only options that we have right now is Kahele's or some type of long-term home system. But as a community, we're gonna have to agree where that would be located if the idea is to allow our Kupuna to remain in this community.
Mahalo Director, Senator DeCourt.
Let me just address the homeless issue, because I think we here on the Waianae Coast are feeling like our public properties and our public lands and our parks and our beaches are kind of, no longer an option as to where we want to go. And, Waianae is very unique in the sense of when we have graduation parties, birthday parties, whatever, we like to go out to the beach, we like to celebrate, we don't have large facilities here, so we do that. But I think first and foremost, to address the homelessness issue, on the state side, because this is what we have jurisdiction over. Just so you know, we are working in collaboration with the Waianae to move up to their property up in Muraoka. So this was something that I have been working with DLNR about to make sure that, let's fulfill Twinkle's vision, right? She wanted to make sure that they owned their own property, that they were able to live and habitate, farm and egg and do all that kind of stuff. So I know on the state side, we are helping to move up that community, up Muraoka, so that we can return the boat harbor back to the public to make sure that if there's land there that the Department of Education can use for their aquaponics, then they can use that for aquaponics, or just to make sure that, again, we return that public lands back to our residents. So just so you know on the state side that that's what we are working on. So we're going to be moving them up. They're building, they're almost there. Hopefully they will be ready, but November 27th is when they're going to be moving up. So I can assure you on the state side, if they're on state property, yeah, we're going to get involved. What we're finding out on our beaches, that's
private property, city and county.
So I think that that's something that we want to continue to inform our mayor and our city council about.
Hell yeah.
Mahalo for the update. And speaking of updates, a question came in asking for an update. Senator DeCourt, what's the update on the Waianae police station? Can you give us the latest on that and any?
I have the budget. Pikachu has the budget.
Okay, well,
on the police commission, I got everything.
Let me just let you know that I spoke with Major Beckley this morning about the update for the Waianae police station. So let me just summarize her message to you.
You have $336 million in the budget.
Because again, I'm on the state side. So pretty much what's happening with the police station is they were just awarded $1.2 million to take the second floor to the next level. So right now, the Waianae police station, second floor, is it's still cement walls. There's no electrical, there's nothing in there. And so the county is appropriating money to get that completed. So the city is working towards that. But what I will say, and some of you may have seen this on the news, is that the new chief of police has just mentioned that he was going to be giving 12 officers here to District 8. So we need those officers as much as possible, but more importantly, we need a completed police station so we can have full-time detectives, so we can have CRU, so we can make sure that when we book criminals on the Waianae Coast, we can leave them here, and then we can hold them here instead of taking them back to Kapolei. So we're continuing to follow that, but of course, go ahead and email your council member.
Mahalo, Senator, we'll go to the mic.
Hello, thank you for being here. My name is Kupuna. My family name is Kitty. Married name is Teruya. My two men also is part of the Waianae family, Nanakuli, given their property 1930. And the hats that I wear is the Nanakuli PTSA, the Hawaiian Civic Club, the board, and many more volunteerism. There are many times that I experienced egg land stripped. Once was egg, before that, pastoral. We had horses, and so one dressed like this. A lot of us were. Paniolo, Paniola, and Paniola. So we're continuously seeing our people being stripped. And corporations, hotels being built. Where is the balance? Why aren't our people on their properties? What is Hawaiian affairs? You guys are battling democracy, the majority of Democrats that have lied. I'm a born-again Christian. I would like us to be mindful for the stage because this is definitely a holy place. And I want to thank Arc of Safety for allowing this to occur because usually it's in the public forum. So with that, having to tend to Mauna Kea High School and its issues, the building rotating with all the schools, asking for repairs, begging for repairs, honestly. And then DHHL with giving out all the lands. Wow, wonderful. They're going to be land poor, home poor. 700,000? That's not affordable. We're getting ripped off.
Mahalo for the question.
Trust broken.
Thank you, Auntie, for the question. Senator Awa, want to speak on the ag zoning, rezoning part of the question?
We're an unbalanced state. The group in charge has a different mindset when it comes to housing, when it comes to things like rezoning, just unresponsive in general to a lot of our problems. And because it's so unbalanced, and our voices are so few when it comes to the minority, we can't pass bills. So we're not in there, Sam and I, trying to provide solutions even though we have them, because we know that due to politics, our bills will never pass. I have a bill as simple as recognizing the coconut tree, which is being designated as a food source, because right now, I'm going far away from the question, but just to give you a mindset of what happens in there. And that bill was simple, one line change to the law, passed the Senate, with the Carlton, which was voted as well, not changed at all, so it could have become law, it could have protected the tree. And when I got to the other side, because I am part of the minority and they want to send a message, kill out. No matter what, even though the committee chair was a Hawaiian who agreed with the bill. And so when you're asking, hey, what are we going to do about the homes, we'll keep fighting until we restore balance and we can change the process. But until we get more balance in the state, and I'm not even talking about Democrats or Republicans, I'm just talking about mindset. I don't know how many people watched Chief of War, the third episode when it came out last weekend, but the one part that stood out to me was when Kaiana told the lady who had been in the Philippines, you've been away from the land for too long, because her mindset was to sell out the sand for the grounds here. Well, the mindset of selling out is far from the course into it.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, Senator Richards, go ahead.
Just real quick, I'm from Big Island, and one of the challenges, we talked about the zoning thing. I came up from county, and on the Big Island, almost every land was zoned ag 20. And then we have to go forward with the rezoning to get some housing done. I had trouble getting that stuff through county, and I think you said that best when you talked about where's the balance. And that's what we have to do. We have to look at the balance for that. And, we get along. We have that focus in mind of trying to strike the balance. It's not an easy answer, and I'd happily talk story with you about this, but I do want to be mindful of letting other people ask questions. But if you want to contact my office, I'm very happy to talk story with you about this.
Thank you, Senator Richards. All right, before we go to our next question on the mic, I'm going to go to a QR code question. Question is, why do you build more housing but do not improve the infrastructure? What about the cesspool issue, and with the state mandate, will we be able to convert all cesspools in time?
That is not an easy answer to give, but it comes back again to the balance. We have a mandate, federal mandate, to get rid of the cesspools, and of the 80,000, Big Island has 50,000 of those cesspools. We don't have the infrastructure in place. To get more people onto the land, I'm talking specifically about Hawaiians on Hawaiian homes. I commend OHA for putting the funding in to get some infrastructure in place, because that's huge. There are some projects I'm working on the Big Island to get more water, to get that infrastructure in place, so then we can get the housing built. I agree with the comment before. $700,000 is not affordable. $350 maybe if everybody is working in the household. That's not an easy answer to come up with, but we have to find a better way to get the infrastructure in. Because we get infrastructure in, then we can start getting that housing built. And I'm mindful of time.
Thank you.
Thank you, and I will say that Waianae is a category 1 when it comes to the cesspool conversion, and Waianae is just not ready for that. So what's going to happen when Waianae doesn't convert? What is the city going to do? They're going to impose fines. What happens when they can't pay those fines? They're going to continue to build and build and build and build, and then what's going to happen? Eventually, at the end of the day, there's going to be property forfeiture. Now, we're talking worst case scenario, but we have to think of those things when we're speaking on behalf of a community that has kupunas living on a fixed income, and that is just completely unrealistic. I was never about it when the bill was introduced, and I'm not about it now. So I think the mayor of Big Island, of Hawaii Island, came out and said they can't meet that deadline. And realistically, I know Waianae can't meet that deadline. I don't know how the rest of the state is going to do it, but I know for sure Waianae is just not ready.
Thank you. All right, moving on to our next microphone question.
Hello, Senators. I'm also Salcedo. I appreciate Senator Teri for supporting the Duke's Law. It became Act 235, Senate Bill 1249. But I have questions here too. In fact, I have grandson Duke Pia, dad, and family in back of me. Standing up here, please stand. They recognize and give gratitude for this bill to be named after Duke Pia. But the question is, with this law that's coming about, it's enacted, so July 1st. Our public, how would I say it? As a landowner, how do we protect our property and create a citizen's arrest on our property when they violate our areas, for such as one? For everyone that's looking at this is our first line of defense of Duke's Law. No trespassing. These perpetrators trespass on our property. Are we allowed to shoot in the leg if they have a confrontation with them? What is the safest way for us landowners so we don't lose our property because of knuckleheads trespassing, crossing these signs, bypassing this no trespassing sign? What is the safer approach of this?
So, thank you, Mr. Salcedo. So, the biggest thing, guys, is that law enforcement recommends that us do our job. What we don't want is for you guys to be so frustrated that you take it into your own hands, because you can affect the citizen's arrest, but then you also accept the liability of that seizure. So meaning if the person tries to walk off and you tackle them and whatnot, you'll likely win in court in regards to criminal, but if you injure that person, civil court is much different. So leave it up to us, take a photo, right, and then we can go ahead and follow. I know that there's a lot of frustration again, and people want to take it to their own hands, but don't do that, guys. It's not worth it. It's not like before where there's a lot of respect for the youth, and uncle or grandpa came out and said, hey, what you doing? They would say, sorry, uncle, right? You know, who's your dad? And they would actually tell you your dad, and they would call your dad. It's not like that anymore. They might hurt you or your family. So we don't recommend that you guys take that into your own hands. Put up the signs. I know it's not exactly what you guys want to hear, but let us do it retroactively. SB 1249, it's kind of on a 3-strike rotation. So within the law itself, first time, 3 days, second time, 10 days, third time, 30 days. That's for petty misdemeanors, which a lot of the crimes
not to killing your dogs, killing your livestock.
For misdemeanors, right, it starts off with 5 days minimum. So in other words, first offense, 5 days in jail. Right? Then it goes to 30
You're taking
days
your
in
tomatoes.
jail, 1 year.
It's like a tomato
Again,
just killing a
the
cow.
judge would have to utilize that in concert with penalties. But again, guys,
You guys aren't. You're not trained in agricultural crimes.
The community is for you folks to just be good witnesses for us. So take the photo.
We're gonna be dead.
I think your wife has the ag poster
They
up.
got shotguns. They have shotguns, assault rifles, and pistols.
We changed it from ag tip line to now it says ag reporting and tip line. So meaning that if it's a non-emergency situation,
I already sent it to you.
you told the guy you caught him on your property, you took a photo.
I called you.
Just leave before the cops get here, which they are very likely to do.
We'll be
You
dead.
guys can either wait for 911 or if they're
No.
already left, upload it to our ag line. And then what we'll do is we'll build a case at the state level for the trespassing.
Unless
theft,
the
or whatever
U.S.
that
Marshal
offense
is the
was.
one corrupt
But
doing
again,
organ
you
harvesting.
gotta underscore this in bold, let us do that part in regards to apprehension. But thank you.
Mahalo, Director. I'd like to make an announcement as well. Thank you for private order from the Forest Bureau and Director Sharon Hurd. They're handling the administrative portion.
Eggs.
Making it possible for this agriculture crime, no trespassing signs to be handed out tonight. 5 each, up to me, I'll have these.
SB 1249, Duke's Law.
5 each on this day. Thank you, Director Sharon Hurd. Thank you, Forest Bureau.
Sharon.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you. Chee-hoo.
Question via QR code.
Really?
Really? Police pull over expired safety vehicles or cited for not wearing seatbelts.
COVID. Just say COVID.
I'm just reading the question.
Yeah, not even. Just say COVID. Bro, you're good.
So the issue here is that actually I brought this up I think it was about 2 years ago at a town hall that the issue is, guys, is that from a law enforcement standpoint, when it comes to those type of crimes, we cannot win, right? So, for example, when they had all of the people getting shot up, HPD did their typical suppression, which has to do with giving out tickets. And what that is to remind the community.
Goes to the state of Hawaii.
And B, the law matters. They got a rash of, blowback on, why you guys doing all this Manini stuff, all this high stuff. And what I shared at that other community meeting, guys, it's like your backyard.
Wailua,
right?
North Shore.
When the grass is long, can you see the weeds?
Yes.
Right? So you have to cut the
Those
grass
are
off.
weeds.
So
Those are
all
weeds.
grass is people following the law. And then what happens is, what are the weeds when the grass is low? They what?
Mike,
They stand out.
long yard
so
is weeds.
We can, and I can tell you right now, I can make a phone call tomorrow and we can light up the Waianae coast.
Let's do it.
But
you.
That there's going to be some fiscal responsibility that comes with that.
The prosecuting
so
attorney.
Watch what you wish for. But I can tell you guys right now.
Bring it. Don't sing it.
If you guys want order on this side,
yes,
everybody has to follow the rules so that the grass is low. You guys cannot tell us. I came out here for fireworks, right? Ooh, you guys,
That's with the customs. That's at the Customs Border Patrol. It comes through shit China.
Right? And then what happened 2 weeks later? Huge fire. Right? So it's kind of one of those things, guys, where we're not here to make sure people have fun. We're not making sure that people can be free and, and I don't mean it in a negative way. We're here to keep people safe. So we can do all of those things, but the community has to agree that we want law. And we are going to pay our safety checks. We're going to have insurance when we drive.
Lower the prices.
Driving is a privilege.
No, it's not. Yes, it is. The right to travel. U.S. constitutional law. I am countering you. U.S. constitutional law. The U.S. Constitution, you have the right to travel on a horse.
Come together, work with your council members, work with your elected officials, and if that's what you guys want,
no.
I'll send the sheriffs out here and we'll help with that as well.
No, sheriffs is county, not
Let
state.
me just add to that because I just talked to Major Beckley, District 8 this morning. District 8 has issued 33,000 traffic violations from the start of January until now. District 8 gives out the most traffic violations of all the districts. So I don't
And 1 million population.
isn't doing their job. There's a lot
The
of
money
other
goes to the state of
elements that
Hawaii. It
they
doesn't go to city and
there's the
county.
prosecutor's office, and there's so many other things. But I want, again, just to echo what Director Lambert had said is, everybody wants to talk about speeding until somebody gets a speeding ticket. So, again, if that's what the community wants,
No, you fight it in court.
You just gotta let us know, but make sure.
Ain't no one in Waianae complained about a speeding ticket.
Make sure everybody in the house is good to go before we actually, as he said, start lighting it up.
This is facetious. It lit it up in St. Salt Lake.
My name is Walker. I'm the PD of Kids Hurt 2. I'm here tonight because Nani and Dana couldn't make it. I want to first thank Senator Senator DeCourt, and Representative Keela's not here. Y'all's offices have really jumped to help us with an issue, a procurement issue that we faced last week. Naya staying and working late into the night. I think she called me at around 8 p.m. and she was still plugging away the issue. The state spends literally millions of dollars on needs assessments, trying to figure out where the most need is, what communities need different things, and they use that to inform various programs throughout all of the departments.
What's your question?
Part of the issue that we faced last week was that a lot of this seems to be lip service. And so we have programs coming out that are designed for rural communities, Native Hawaiians, at-risk youth, and they are routinely being awarded to the same organizations. They're routinely going to the same demographics, and most of them are in town.
Yes.
So the resources that are on the state level meant to reach Ō'Lelo, meant to reach
number one
Waianae,
native
aren't
suffering Hawaiian population in the world.
Even though on paper they should. So what additional oversight or what
are you going to do about it?
Additional levels of scrutiny can be applied to these programs so that we don't have to spend, I mean, it was one proposal last week for $75,000, but we had spent collectively probably over 30 hours back and forth about it, and we cannot do that every single time, because we have to go to Senator Richards' foundations like his, like Atherton, to fill in, and especially as things get worse, there's less and less money for them to be able to do that.
All right, Senator Richards, Big Island. That's your point.
I appreciate your comments, and the community saw you smiling. It's the typical problem with the rural districts. The Big Island is very, very rural. We see the same problems on the Big Island.
Worse.
And I don't have a real quick answer for you. I think I'm very curious to find out more details, specifically what you're talking about. I'm happy to work with Senator Court on this one to understand better, because I think this is a problem for the rural districts. I have Kohala is my district, and it's very rural. Kapuni, that side is very rural, and we run into some of the same issues. So maybe we can learn from each other, and maybe we can plug some holes.
And then also, I'll just add, if you have a passion or kuleana to serve in a certain community or with a group, I just want to encourage you to continue to do your work. And I know that's what you guys are doing, and that's what we are all here doing. Like, I work with a lot of nonprofit organizations that doesn't just rely on state funding. It doesn't just rely on federal funding. It doesn't just rely on
state, city, county.
There's other ways of getting grants and
private.
Help you with that, and maybe give you some websites that you can go apply for. But this kind of work, community work, kuleana work, like, it's never enough, right? Because you're always giving above and beyond. It's tireless and it's thankless. So I want to really thank you for what it is that you guys are doing, but continue to hang in there, because I think as far as the funding is concerned, yeah, I think everybody is feeling the pinch right now, especially the nonprofits. But continue to hang in there, continue to keep going. I'd be more than happy to share with you with some other funding that I do know of that's out there. But the ones that are really like standing in place right now, like they're hustling with other organizations, they're getting private funding, so it's private, a situation public that partnership. You gotta work it. But continue to stay on the path. I'd be more than happy to forward you some grants and websites that you can go ahead and apply for.
Thank you for the question.
USA.gov.
All right, moving to a QR code question that was submitted.
Forget the QR code.
Will there be a police pilot program in our high schools? If yes, how soon, please? I assume
that's the SRO in Nanakuli.
School resource officer.
SRO.
Remember?
So I know, and
Nanakuli already put this forward.
So I know that they sent a handful of retired officers up to the school resource officer program to be certified in the mainland. They'll be looking for people, so if you guys know people that are ex-law enforcement, I think they're going to pay them $95,000 a year.
What? That's more than a cop.
Yeah, so I can't compete.
That's more than police.
But I do know that I believe that the pilot is going to be Waianae or
Nanakuli. Nanakuli approved it, not Waianae.
More details from their end.
Yeah.
Pretty close to that.
98,000.
Thank you very much. Moving on to the microphone. Next question, please.
traditional housings that we have on the state of Oahu. One is us, the other is KWO. Mahalo Nui does families. KWO does individuals and families as well. So we also run the old Waianae in Waianae emergency shelter. So I work on both sides. Right now, even though my office is up there, I'm working in Waianae, so I was trying to rush it. So my concern is, on the state level, you know how it works, right? People think it's so easy because we have all these homeless people. I once was homeless myself. During the time in 2022, we were offered what is called an HV program, Emergency Housing Voucher, which about 4,000 people, 4,000 families and stuff will now be without a home because that voucher expires 6 years ahead of when it was planned due to budget cuts. So this is another issue. The other plans is they plan on building kahales all over. They want to build kahales up where we are, they want to build on Mahalo property, and that's good. We're getting people off the street, but again, what is the game plan after that? Because we're not, I work hard, I don't get paid enough. But then we have the state funding that says, hey, here's some money, make it work. Housing works. We place all these people in homes, sustainability-wise, they can't afford it once the services stop. So it's a revolving door. People keep wondering why people are homeless. We try our best to house these people, and it's just repetitious over and over. And we tried to go up, talk to Julianne, we've tried everything, and let's just build more kahales. Okay, cool. But what's the next thing after that? What's that?
Thank you. So homelessness.
Yeah. So let me just go ahead and answer that because we have multiple shelters here on the Waianae Coast. I can literally send you a list of the shelters here on the Waianae Coast with its vacancies. So this is why I don't support any new homeless developments out here, whether that be kahales, whether that be whatever it is because we already have shelters here that are in place. I can tell you how many vacancies are for singles, I can tell you how many vacancies are for couples, I can tell you how many vacancies are for families. So it's not for lack of a place to go. It's not for a lack of a place to go. It is, although, a mentality of people that don't want to go into shelters. They don't want to follow rules. I'm sorry, but there are rules that we have to follow. I live in my own house, I own my own home, I gotta follow rules. And so this is the part where the enablement and the lack of being able to enforce the law to free up our public spaces are why people are continuing to be able to live wherever they want to live, use the water, use our facilities, and also not even be able to, just clean up around yourself. And so that is why I work hand in hand with the homeless shelters that are down here. So it's not for lack of shelters. There's a place to go. If anybody over here has a family member or friend that's living on the beach right now and they want to get into shelter, let me know. I have a place I can put them in tonight. And so, but the problem is not that they don't want to go. The problem is they don't want to follow rules. They don't want to be confined. But I'm sorry, that's just life. My kids gotta follow rules. I gotta follow rules. Everybody that is here gotta follow rules. And they're not gonna continue to use our resources that my taxpayer money pays for. Hey, everybody's having a hard time. I'm having a hard time. We just had to pull out my husband's annuity to pay for our mortgage. So trust me, I'm feeling the pinch just like everybody else. So when I see that somebody is getting away with it or not doing their part, yeah, I get upset.
Thank you for the question. All right, let me move on to the next QR code question that came in. Here it is. Aloha. This is from Christian Zuckerman with the Hawaii Farmers Union, represents family farmers, ranchers, and fisheries across the state. I also grew up here and have been farming in Waianae for 13 years. Waianae used to be known as the breadbasket of Oahu. As we all know, farming is hard work and has many challenges. With the increased housing pressure, cost of living, and many other barriers, what are some initiatives coming into next session to support the family ranchers and farmers and to empower our farming community?
Is that from Hawaii Farm Bureau? I don't think that they're here.
It's from a farm. This is Christian Zuckerman. He's a farmer on the Waianae.
Oh, I apologize. Okay, I thought that was being directed. So let me tell you what we're doing here in Waianae. There's an organization called Ōlelo, and they are responsible for a major part of our food drives. It's called Pa'apono. They also do their Kupuna pantry. This organization is pumping out millions of pounds of food to our community. They're in our schools, they're in our public spaces, they're making sure that our community is fed, that we do not lack, because in our food insecurity, yeah, it's hard for us to farm out here because the area is so dry, right? But they are building a community food hub up there by the Waianae Pump Center. They're getting funding. They actually should be breaking ground very soon. So this is going to be a project that the first time in the nation you have a healthcare facility and you have a food source. So we are breaking ground here on the Waianae Coast as being the very first healthcare in collaboration with the community food hub. So Waianae is not waiting for other people to come and rescue us. Like, we're doing our own thing. We're helping our own people, because when they do a food drive, they're only helping the 96792. They're not extending that to people in other communities. Hey, go do your own projects out there, but for us, we got us. And so that's why it's important that we support organizations like this and everybody else that is helping to feed our community. But start at home. Plant an ulu tree. Plant a coconut tree. Do something. We have to start getting ma'a to these kinds of practices for us to be able to sustain ourselves, because if the boats ever do dry up, we're going to be in big trouble and we cannot wait. So it's important that we start implementing programs and organizations that are actually doing the work already. They're not waiting. And trust me, they're not only getting state funding, they're hustling it and going around the nation telling the nation what Waianae is doing, and people are compelled to help. So I want to give this over to Senator Richards as well.
So, the question is, what we're doing for agriculture to help accelerate agriculture. I'm a numbers guy, and I have to understand, I can't figure out where I'm going if I don't know where I am right now. Our state has roughly 1.4 million people. We roughly eat 5 pounds of food a day. That's a national number that we use to calculate. Our state consumes 7 million pounds of food a day. You add tourism in there, that's another 25%. We consume over 3 billion pounds of food a year statewide. I'm from a neighbor island. Infrastructure, infrastructure, infrastructure. If we don't have that, we're not going to accelerate agriculture. We can do it, and we have the bones there, but we've got to start putting the infrastructure there. Director Sniffin's helping me with putting the infrastructure at the shipping ports for the neighbor islands so we can get the commodities to the large population, which is a lot. But we have more than that to work. We've got to look at our water infrastructure, not just transportation. We also have to adapt some of our leases and our hold lands that prohibit allowing farmers and ranchers to live on the property that they have. It doesn't make any sense if you're from agriculture. I'm sure someone in some office made sense of it years ago. There's things that procedurally we have to fix. And the thing is, we are starting to fix some of those things. I have a passion for agriculture. Almost every question you can ask my colleagues, whenever some bill comes before, I always ask, but how does this affect agriculture? Education. All farmers and ranchers have kids. Housing. They need a place to live. Healthcare. They need to have that. So what are we doing is we're standing up, but it's a slow process to stand that up. But I have a driving passion for agriculture. Right now, we're importing between 90 and 95% of the food we consume. I think we can realistically double that, meaning produce 20% of the food in the next 15 to 20 years if we get the infrastructure in place. And I'm committed and definitely working on that.
Mahalo, Senator. How are you guys doing out there? You guys okay? You guys good? All right, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. Off to the mic with James Combs.
Before I ask my question, can I do something real fast? Can I ask Chris Muraoka, please come up, please? I know you don't want to give big head, so you know you got one anyway. Everybody knows about the big fire we had in Miami. Okay? My family lost their house, lost their business, lost their pet dog. They lost over $40,000 worth of jewelry in their house fire. Chris here provided the machinery to help us clear the property. And on behalf of the Ōlelo family, I want to thank you very much for his help. With his help in clearing out all the debris off the property, we were able to put down a foundation for the house. The house was actually paid for. We're just waiting for the okay for the blue bricks. And we start rebuilding a new house very soon. And it wasn't for Chris letting us the machines and helping us on the property to clear out all the debris. They lost all the vehicles, all their leased trucks, all the trucks that they're leasing from Penn State, all burned. They lost 22 containers of supplies that they had for their business. Tents, poles, tables, chairs, pots and pans, you name it, they lost everything. If it wasn't for him coordinating all that, we had containers come in, we loaded up all the scrap metal, got it off. 4 days, I think it was, 4 days when we cleared out all the scrap metal off the property. And believe me, there was a lot of scrap metal. We were able to get all that off the property, and we hauled in, myself and Philip, hauled in material for the foundation of the house. It took us 3 days to haul in enough material to do just the house. And we have enough foundation to build and start building the new house. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mahalo, Representative Muraoka, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Now to Senator Richards.
That was the question. All right.
Now to Senator Richards, I have a question for you. I just want to say thank you. I'm a retired truck driver, 42 years already. It's a lot on the Big Island. Next to haul a lot of cattle for a lot of ranches over there. And I have seen a lot of cattle ranches go down because they couldn't make it. Now I see with all the bills that you're pushing, some of the bills that are passing, I see a lot of those cattle ranches coming back. And to me, that's a good sign.
Thank you.
Our biggest ranch, Maui is our family tours and Parker ranches, you know. I've been up to the new roundhouse and all that kind of stuff. And we have some other ranches that I've helped out and round up and stuff. So I want to thank you for all that. Let's go back.
You can trust the guy in the black hat.
There you go. There you go. And it should take all the side. It should take us. My question is, game rooms. I don't know if you have anything to do with it. But to me, it seems like one game room is getting busted. That same game room, the next day, is back in operation. We have one right across the street from Tamura's shopping center, Tamura's supermarket right here in Moku. They've been out there, they closed it down, the next day they're right back in operation again. But I want to find out what is the solution. None of the neighbors want to speak up because none of them, they don't get retaliation. They will get retaliation from these people.
Absolutely. So the biggest thing is that we follow the nuisance basement route of the Hawaiian Police Department. So when I took over it's 140 game rooms island-wide. So I think that was March of 2023-ish. So around that point. In about 18 months, I was able to knock that down to 70 game rooms island-wide. So the ones that spring up, the reason why they take so long is that after we get the initial search warrant, and then we go ahead and collect the evidence, or they collect evidence, Hawaiian Police Department collects the evidence. So what happens is they file for nuisance abatement, which is a civil process that goes after the land owner or the property owner. That process can take anywhere from 30 to 60 days to file, right? And then it takes another 30 days for them to comply. But that model has been very, very successful because it's very hard because you don't organize crime with the game rooms. So understanding who actually owns the game room, we kind of know because of whispers, but like you said, nobody's willing to tell us. So when I was a major of NARP, I said, never mind, we're chasing our tail. Let's just go over to the property owner and tell them, this is what's happening on your property. If you allow it to continue, we'll seize your property. So HB, I think I just talked to them, and they said that they're down to about 50 island-wide. So they're trending in the right direction. So what Waianae is doing, or the organized crime out here is doing, what they're doing is they're opening for 10 days, closing for 10 days. They're playing these cat and mouse games because they know that the federal requirement is that it opens for, I won't say the magic number because they didn't go under that, but they have to show consistent operation for a certain period of time, which means that we can only take it to the state level, and unfortunately the state processes are a little bit longer. But I'm confident that my whole team will take care of it.
And I also want to say, I remember when we used to come before the neighborhood boards. I like to extend an invitation to come before the non-coding neighborhood board. And you made a right move.
I appreciate it. You guys, everybody here knows if you invite me, I will come. I don't know if that's a good thing, but I definitely like to get out here. And that's why I appreciate these type of events. And I think you guys will find, right, that I'm very direct and honest. And then, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. So sometimes I say things you guys might not like. But what I'm telling you guys is the absolute truth.
That's all I have to do, something that people will like. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. Thank you, James. All right, we're going to move on to a QR code question. Here's one question that came in from the attendee. Question, how can we stop more vape shops from popping up along the coast? It says here, it's all Koreans who capitalize on our most vulnerable. Example, they sell novelty urine, I believe that's fake urine to pass drug tests, making money off of our community.
Yeah, so there's a store currently that sells synthetic urine. So these kinds of products being sold in your community, it demoralizes the residents of the community. And so what happens is when you go into these places of business and they're selling, this synthetic urine, which is basically, if you have to take a drug test and you're doing drugs and you're gonna piss dirty, then you'll get the synthetic urine and then you'll pass the drug test. This is where the community plays a perfect role. And I'm so thankful for the neighborhood boards, because the neighborhood boards on the Waianae coast are so involved. I'm telling you, if you are getting a permit over here and you never come to the neighborhood board, they are driving by your property and they are calling you out. If you went to the neighborhood board trying to get your permit processed and you're already building, they're taking pictures and they're sending it back to the city. So we're really on it when it comes to those kinds of things. But if the community is not happy with the products that are being sold, it's very important that we take those issues to the neighborhood board so we can make sure that we birth it from the community itself so it can reach all levels. Because at the neighborhood board, you not only have state representatives, you have city representatives, you have federal representatives, you have HPD there, you have community there, you have churches there. So I would say that the best way to do that is continue to take it to the neighborhood board. But as far as I'm concerned, there's one store, and we probably know what that store is. I'm not going to call them out here, but there is that one store that I've always had a problem with the fact that they do that, because our kids go into that store, and when they see those kinds of things, it starts conversation. How come they're selling that? What is that? Why would they sell that? And this is not something that we want to have in our community, period.
Thank you, Senator. And before we go to the next microphone question, we have 2 people left in line. We're going to end there, but if you do have a question, please get in line now. Okay, sorry, we got 3 people in line back there. And now 4. We're going to ask if you can now please stand in line, because the last person will be our cutoff for the in-person questions, okay?
Yeah, and then just really quick, so we will be ending at 8:30. Ōlelo will be ending at 8:30. Okay.
Yes. Okay, next question. Go ahead.
Hi guys. Okay, so I live in Muraoka. I live 5 houses down from the last shooting. What are we doing about guns? I am born and raised with Mahalo Nui, back and forth to my titu's house down here. My parents and my grandparents never had to jump on me to make sure the neighbor's strapping wasn't shooting us. And I've had to do that 3 times in the last 3 years on Mahalo Street. Kids are gonna be hard-headed regardless. But where and why is there so much guns being pushed down into areas like this? It comes overseas. It comes in shipment containers. It's getting shipped in. Why isn't it being tracked down? Why isn't dogs being ran to find these things? Or if it is, if you start, thank you.
So I try to work with US Revenue because the issue here is that now most of the parts are printed in home, right? So we get the 3D printers, but the hard parts, the barrel, the slides, the things that are hard to mill, are still shipped in from the mainland. The problem is that it's completely illegal to do that. So I can go on the web right now and I can buy everything else I need for an AR-15 and assault rifle, and I can print the part that's controlled by the federal government, by FFL licensing. So the issue here, guys, is from a law enforcement standpoint, I can't go into your home without a search warrant. But guess who can go into their home? You guys. So I always get upset when I hear parents, how does it happen? Like, I don't know, good question, right? You know what I mean? How did my son get a gun? Good question, very good question. Because I can tell you right now, I go through my kids' stuff, right? And you know, I've had to deal with them baby and whatnot, but that's not invading their privacy. That's being a parent, right? So I'm telling you guys right now that out here, we need to start being parents. Not their friends, right? Not their buddies, their parents. Because I can tell you right now, a lot of the shootings that are going on here were avoidable because they live at home, right? So who is checking? Who is asking their kids? The saddest part I see with this next generation is that they no longer value life, right? It's just something they take and they don't think about. So the reality is this, is that it's really big for the faith groups, the family groups, to really at a young age, to instill the value of life. And you don't just take it from someone, right? I'm sad, I'm worried for my son, he's 19, right? And, you know, for my generation, right, of born in the 80s, the only thing my dad had to worry about is me coming home with a black eye. Every parent in here has to worry if their kid is going to come home at all. Right? So I can tell you guys right now that yes, law enforcement, it is our job to clean up the mess. But it is the community's issue and the family's issue to make sure that there's no mess to clean up. Right? So we need to work together. So we need to share information, and those that do have guns, we will prosecute them, but it starts in the home.
So are you saying that most of the shootings that's been happening is done with ghost weapons?
I wasn't, because I left HPD forever, I'm no longer privy to those files, but before I left, vast majority were printed weapons. Particularly in Waianae and Kalii, they're made, the control parts are printed, and then the rest they somehow get a hold of.
Thank you.
Thank you for the question. All right, we're going to move on to a QR code question, and then we'll get back to the microphone. Question to Senator Court. How will you ensure that the grassroots entities like Mahalo Nui and or Hui o Mahalo have a seat at the table in facilitating the cleanup efforts, cultural access, and restoration of Makua Valley prior to the lease expiry?
Yeah, so, and thank you, Army, for being here to speak on behalf of the Army's response. Hui o Malama and Malama Makua have been instrumental in the return of Makua. So it's not about bringing them to the table. They're already at the table. They have been meeting federally and with state entities for decades now. And so their voice, along with the community's voice, will continue to be heard with the return of Makua and the cleanup of Makua.
Senator, into the microphone.
Hello, everyone.
Blessing Starr. On the clipboard. They didn't get anything done in Washington.
The kingdom, because of your actions, Governor Josh Green has issued a letter to us and acknowledged and recognized the kingdom. And I wanted to go forward and let you guys know. I also want to thank Brendan for having his doors open to me the years that you've been sitting in the office. And I want to ask you to continue on what you've been doing. I know it's hard. Everybody, it's hard.
Look at Brendan's face. Brendan's face is Blaise.
Position and down position. Moving on.
Brendan's like, sorry.
Running along. the bills that you have set up forward for the things that you lost. I want you to continue on, please, for the foreigners lost, the housings, and everything. I believe you folks are going to be able to also address the leaseholders for the homestead. The benefits needs to go to you guys know where the benefits need to go, because right now it's burden to the community. Also, there's other things like the military opening its roads for us, so
Color pass.
I want to thank you for that. To continue on, I would love to say I love you, Mr. Lambert. Unfortunately, I think I congratulate you for your position and everything. Unfortunately, I'm still backing on that. You just stepped your game up. 3 years ago, I did report some things in your office. If you remember that, it hasn't been addressed.
Her house by Sunny Hole.
Almost a year and a half ago, I also gave to your office about another game room that just popped out from another way from a particular property. Those issues has not come up with. I'm facing that. That means other people are facing that as well. Another thing is, Senator.
One question. Go ahead.
Okay. There is a property at St. John's Road where, not property, but a whole housing that's empty, that it has city and county people in it, some homes and so forth. The lease is being held by the state. Can you look into that, because it's been empty and need renovation and whatnot? Because so then that way we can have our house list move in there, because it's been longer.
We need an address.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You can briefly answer, and then we'll move on.
Senator Court. Go get him, Carl.
Okay, that was a lot, so I think we all can take something home and then...
I don't know the address. I have no idea what property she's talking about.
Question for Director Smith.
That's how they don't answer the question.
Assist with traffic eastbound from Sea Country to Mahalo. The lights are not in sync, and it takes at least 45 minutes to get to school every morning from Sea Country to Mahalo.
So the lights are synced. The difficulty is we just have way too much volume for capacity.
Yes. Overpopulated.
You can upgrade the roads to make sure that the infrastructure works better than before. We're also upgrading all the signals. Right now we have dumb signals. You get 2 times that you get with signals. One base timing that gives equal time from the main line to the side streets. Second time is a peak time that gives you maximum time to the main line and minimum time to the side street. That's it. So we're upgrading all the signals throughout Oahu to ensure that all of them can have more than just those 2 signals. We can control them all from the traffic management center. So we give volume and capacity in different areas at different times throughout the day. That's the only thing we can do. Right now, the other additional piece that we can do for the eastbound portion is making sure that we can fit lane extended to from Venezuela all the way to Kima to take the top off of the coastal area. Once we get that portion through, and that's going to require us to rebuild the bridge to get the fit lane through that area. You feel like we get most of the traffic through the eastbound peak time, and also we can counterflow in on the westbound side in the afternoons. It'll give us more capacity in areas where we have land. The difficulty for the coast right now, we just don't have the land. Beyond that point, in that area, very difficult for us to expand any of these.
Mahalo, Director. To the microphone. Thanks for doing this.
Hello. And I have questions for the people of Waianae, questions they don't need to answer, and I bring solutions. How is the central government one mayor for all of Oahu efficient, one city council for Oahu efficient in helping out Waianae? Waianae needs their own mayor, their own city council.
Andrew Topola sucks.
Waianae can fix their own problems in their own community.
Heyo.
Honolulu has their own problems, they can fix it all. Wahiawa, same thing. Oahu has grown so large, we need more mayors, more city councils, more local representation, because right now, nobody in this island is being represented efficiently. For the septic, easy solution. start transitioning away from failed infrastructure projects, huge infrastructure,
The rail.
individual incinerators in each individual home, built into the design. Individual is much easier to control than massive volumes of garbage, massive volumes of
Landfills.
sewage. The big infrastructure programs and that idea has failed. We have new technology. It's time to move into the future. Local solutions, easier solutions. Big government-controlled infrastructure is a failed idea.
Thank you very much. Anyone want to take that?
You get an answer,
Yeah, so
Carl.
how is it efficient? It's not efficient. What else to say about that? Yeah.
The idea has been talked about before about having different counties, but that's a city council discussion. And so, but
Andrew Topola ain't here.
Okay.
We're the state.
QR code question. We're going to move.
Diamond,
to
forget the QR codes, bro.
Question number 2 that came in. Concerned about the amount of homeless that are allowed to live in our area. Being homeless is not a crime, but making a home on a public beach or park is a crime. We have beautiful beaches that can't even use because of all the homeless that are basically building homes on the beaches and are turning them onto junkyards. The smell and the amount of feces and urine that are on our beaches is
That's a real
unacceptable.
question.
Along with all the drugs and increased crime coming into the
Fentanyl.
area, especially finding of needles.
Great question. Mike Lambert?
I'm going to answer that. I'm going to give it over
Oh.
to Director Lambert. I don't want to continue to be a broken record here, but it's obvious that we definitely have a problem down here. It's very visible and it's very obvious because what's happening is here, it's been a perpetual tolerance that people are just not following the law. Is it illegal to be homeless? No, it's not. Is it illegal to camp without a permit? I don't know. These are the things that we need our county to look into. Okay, this is the part where the city has got to start cracking down. This is their property, they have jurisdiction of it. We're doing what we can on the state side. So if we see that people are infringing on our state property, our state area, then yeah, you better believe we're gonna crack down on that because we don't tolerate that in the state. So I don't want to speak for the county because they're not here, but what I will say is it's been a visible problem. I don't have to draw the picture over here. We have to crack down on that. And so I know that we have a mayor that's really behind making sure that our parks is available and our parks is free. But, you know, I don't want the community to stop blaring the alarm on this because you go into other communities, you don't see encampments like this. And I will tell you that it completely kills your morale when you have to stay stuck in traffic. Nothing personal, Ed. When you stay stuck in traffic for 2 hours, and then you gotta drive home, and then you gotta go past homeless encampments. Let's not forget that these encampments are close to public stores, they're close to schools, kids are catching bus over there, Kupuna are catching bus over there. So let's not sugarcoat the situation. Here on the state side, I can only speak for myself, but we have every intention of cracking down on that to make sure that our public spaces are available, because that's your guys' taxpaying money. That's my taxpaying money. And I don't want to take my kids to the beach, so what do community do? They start building pools. Do you know now there's more of permits that are being issued for pools on the Waianae coast? Why is that? That's probably because they don't want to go to the beach.
There's no more water.
I went to one cleanup and I found needles, there were rats, there were bed frames that were in the sand.
That's
4
sewers.
feet in
That's by
the sand.
sewers.
So these are not
That's all
people
by
that are
sewers.
respecting Aina. Right? These are not people that are keeping to themselves. These are people that are totally taking advantage. If you drive past, they have a full-on gym set up over there. There's a boxing
Hakimo
bag,
Road.
there's a punching bag, there's everything over there. So I don't want to sidestep this situation. I want to make sure that it's very clear. As far as where I stand, every single intention to make sure that we feel freed up to go to our beach, to go to our parks, and then we don't have to worry about when our kid gotta go bathroom, who's in the bathroom. So it's completely unacceptable as far as I can see, and we'll continue to take that stand. I'm gonna give it over to my landlord.
So same thing with most issues, right? The community is torn on it. So for me, I'll go to a community meeting, they'll say, clean it up. And we'll say, okay, great. And I'll go on a campaign, tell everybody, we're going to clean out the beach. And then I go to another meeting where they say, why are you doing that? You're displacing all our ohana. So same thing with every issue here. You guys got to come to some level of agreement. And I always like to find balance.
City and county, not state.
2-week warning period, strict enforcement follow. So in other words, you got 2 weeks to figure it out, bring in all the outreach workers, offer them everything under the sun, and then after that, then it is what it is.
They're going to sweep.
Mahalo, Director. Next question on the microphone.
It's Salcedo. Yo.
And it shouldn't have only been certain people, it should have been a whole community.
There's 3 of us.
I extracted my 9679
It was 3 of us. That's it. Salcedo's and Pikachu. All of us. Doesn't matter why I bought it all. They didn't show up. Doing some shit.
I knew Representative Legislature. Well, I've been in office 7 months. Different than us. Okay. You can't always make a double claim about what about the homeless, what about this, what about that. When you have city issue, anything again, the captains of the beach, you call your councilwoman the way I do.
Andrew Tapola.
That's not just to look at one side. Remember, we have streams from many violence, okay? But we gotta remember, we all in it together. I feed my Kupunas that cannot afford certain things. I give them eggs, I give them whatever they need. But it's our responsibility to take care of the Kupunas. And if you're taking care of your own Kupunas, and you don't know where you are on a school night, you need me. Better know where you are. Because with Duke's Law, you're part of, you're going to be part of the problem now, keeping an eye on you. All I'm saying, do not divide. We have certain groups dividing us. Our own community. We're not here to be divided. We've been divided for years. We're here to unite and work on what's in front of us. I found my smile. Because why? I'm doing a fight not for myself, for my grandchildren, and my children and generations to come. I want to make sure they're safe. So I love each and every special guest that came here, because they didn't have to be here. But you know what? Please listen with your eyes and your heart. They came here. And you folks have to admit, never before. And be truthful to yourself. Never before. You guys had the opportunity. Do not downgrade it. Give them the benefit of the doubt. I trust these guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Pikachu doesn't. Just be sure. 4 minutes. 8:30.
Teri, Savaiinaea. So I had
You gotta give that stuff. You gotta say something.
Saunders. He couldn't make it due to health condition. So his concern
Waianae
is
board chair.
we need to be talking about parenting trends and how can we strengthen families to be more responsible for the actions of their children. Criminal behavior starts in the home. Lack of discipline, fatherless families, and a lack of respect for their family and others in the community. How can we strengthen the family to take more responsibility?
All for the question. Anyone on the panel?
Good question.
I mean, I think Director Lambert said it's best. We need to be parents, right? So be a parent and not a friend. And I think as long as we continue
them
to
lickings.
get in there with our kids,
Give them
check
the
their
belt.
phones, put restrictions. To be honest, if you have young kids, they shouldn't even have phones. But that's a parenting choice.
Give them the belt.
But just get involved, get into their point, get into their lives. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's the Blaise answer. Closer, Kapua, closer.
feed our people. Not just farming, but farming for our people. When Hawaii schools are prioritized over prisons when it comes to the funding of kids. Can you imagine when Hawaii's reasonable prisoners become part of the labor force to help them reintegrate with the community that they came from? Can you imagine where our houseless become part of the solutions and labor force, not just considered as burdens that we move from place to place? Can you imagine when we decide how many planes and people land on our shores? Who can come here? Who can work here? And who can stay and live here? But where our Kupuna of all nationalities are respected, cared for, and continue to be great resources for all of us. And where resources given to the United States federal government stays in Hawaii, here with us. Were the wrong committed on January 17, 1893, the coup, or the celebrated fake statehood day of August 19, 1959, when those wrongs are committed? Where Hawaii becomes independent again, and we control our fate and our future. Mahalo.
I want to take it. We'll go to our last question on the panel. Ms. Medeiros, please proceed.
Hi, Sheila Medeiros. I'm with the neighborhood board, Makakino, Kapolei, and Honokaihai. My question is actually for Haima. First of all, before I ask the question, thank you all for having this. This is actually warms my heart to just see how many people that are here to show up. And I've been to quite a few town halls, and I think this is the most I've seen. So it is a testament to how much this community 96702 really cares. So my question is for Haima. Our neighborhood board, we participated in the Kapolei Local Emergency Action Network exercise, where they exercised their battle drills for a tsunami. And that was last week, and that was in Campbell Industrial. There wasn't a Haima rep, but I wanted to find out if you folks have an annual statewide exercise called Makani Pahili. Will you be leading the way to get subdivisions within our 96792, 96707 to prepare our subdivisions? Because what happened with the tsunami, it was mass chaos. So if we can start at the lowest level with subdivisions, like Makakilo, they have different divisions, Kapolei, Waianae, they have different subsections. We start at the smallest level and train those subdivisions on an emergency preparedness. Are you at least planning on having some type of training statewide where you're going to the lowest level denominator?
Thank you for the question. Allow Haima to take that.
All right, thank you for the question on Mahalo Nui. Yeah, just like Mike had said, it's a community effort for all of us. It's a couple effort, as our administrator said. We do have our HC Park program that we are working with the communities. Majority of the neighborhood boards we've addressed, and we're trying to work with the Waianae Council. Our community outreach needs down here has been a lot of the folks here
answering Sheila Madero's last question. You have to work together. What's this jumbo sushi belly? I eat tuna, baby. Look at that belly. They're not wildfires, they're arson.
Thank you very much for the answer. All right, guys, thank you so much for because of the tsunami that we are meeting with Haima. My office has already reached out to Haima. I have a meeting on Thursday with Civil Defense. We also met with a gentleman that owns his own private repeater. So should this thing happen again, we will have signal communication. We will be opening this up to the public. As you guys know, I have a monthly talk story session that we want to work. Like Sheila had said, that is a big work. We cannot out here in Waianae on this coast, because of that one way in and out, depend on people to come save us. There's a lot of families. We got the Landfords, we got the Kahanamoku, we got the Blaise. We have people who have vast knowledge of our valleys and our areas that can come help quickly in time. The proof was in the mining fire. You know, everybody likes to tell me how good of a job I did. The truth is, I didn't do it by myself. There was a lot of families that kicked in. I was just the face that people recognized. We are working on this Haima emergency plan based on not only the fire that happened in Maili, the Kahanamoku just got recently evacuated. You know, so
Kula fire, Maui.
But also with just so much on our coast, we are working on that. We're going to welcome all of the communities involved in it because the Kupuna have vast knowledge. The young guys, they like jumping in from it out. So we're not thinking anymore. We are working on that and we'll be opening it up for all representatives. We truly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for taking your beat. Before we end this evening, we do want to hear from the panelists. We're going to go and give closing statements at this time. 30 seconds each. I want to start with Director Smith and then we'll work our way.
Good luck, everybody.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate you allowing me to come out and also appreciate when you had 3 questions on transportation.
Yeah, you Ed. We hate traffic.
You guys don't know where to find me. So anytime you need anything, the boards all reach out, your representatives all reach out. Everybody knows where to find me. We're always happy to help out. Thank you.
Love you, Ed.
So I just want to say thank you again. You know, it's always great when I come out here. I go literally all over the state now. Waianae has got the best hospitality. You know,
We got the most crime. We have the #1 crime, bro. Hey! At least we got Musa Bees.
Neighborhood boards, whatnot. Reach out to my office.
It's fucked up, but yeah, that's the truth. Patricia, I know you're listening in. There we go, Samantha. She passed it on. Tim?
I want to thank the community and actually thank my colleague for the support and for the invitation to come out.
Big Island, yeah, you, Senator Richards. Chee-hoo!
You need to come out here, like I said, when I got to Waianae, I got to Mahalo Nui, it feels like the Big Island. So
Country.
We're rural, we're away from the crowds, and I like being here, so I appreciate being
Freaking quiet.
Your job putting this together. Really just wanted to support her for all the support that she gave the East Side and the North Shore in her time.
North Shore.
Nice to see you.
No Haliva backyards.
It's nice to come to a meeting with so many local problem people.
Yeah, you. Chee-hoo!
So I'm sure I know you're saying there's a lot of guys, so it shows that you guys want to do this thing.
let's give it another round of applause for the panel speakers. The Waianae Coast is always so blessed when we have people that come in person. We know that it's a sacrifice coming out here. We know that you're going to spend time in traffic. We know that you're taking time away from your family. So, with these leaders up here, as well as the leaders that are in the front row here that I've asked to come and they have made time to be here, Waianae is unique in the sense that, again, we're not just waiting for the state to come and rescue us, that we have our solutions as well, and so that's what makes us so unique.
You have to be pragmatic.
But I will say with the panel that's here and those that have come in representation of their organizations, we are committed to the residents of the Waianae Coast. People on here on this panel
96792. It's Makaha Nanakuli.
They're actively
If though in Waianae, I must advocate for the sequel 96792.
Agriculture, with
Waianae is just the worst.
helping me, helping you. So,
Jerry Maguire, baby!
I mean, it really is a couple of things. I want to give a round of applause for Representative Diamond Garcia.
Diamond! You have to meet Nanakuli. He's Nanakuli. He's Primo Road.
Also, there are a few thank yous, so please indulge me a little bit. Don't fall asleep just yet. I can see some of you nodding off. Like, what? I just fed you too much. That's why I don't got food next time. Next time, no food. You guys follow your
No! Dessert! Dessert!
A few people. Number one, El Payo. They're the ones who had brought some of the gift bags for our special guests. So thank you very much. King's Grace that also provided the food. The Salcedos who also provided food as well. And just the community, my staff. We got Malia, Augustine, Nanakuli resident. We have Nia, who has just been the backbone of my office. There's no way I could do what I do without them being in the front of me and in the back of me. So can we give them a round of applause, please? Because they're just answer phones. They're my therapists.
They have to deal with our shit.
They're my prayer warriors. They're everything. So I'm just so blessed to be able to have them. With that being said, I want us to be able to close here tonight. That the discussions that were here, whether you had your questions.
Oh, we're not done filming yet. Pikachu's going to capture the after moments. After they shut down, Pikachu's not stopping filming.
Everybody says, so if you didn't get a chance to put your information into the QR code, please do. If you felt like there was a question that you wanted to answer, you didn't have time, please put it there. I want to make sure that when people leave this room, they feel satisfied with the response that they've got.
I don't feel satisfied.
Even though it could be something as we'll get back to you. Because right now, we are in a season that we are not just working with what you see on social media.
No one ever emailed me. They're going to get back to me.
There's a lot of sacrifice that comes with with this position, but this is what we sign up for, and this is what we're proud to do. We're proud to represent the Waianae Coast. So I want to just really encourage my community that this really is because of you, people up here, and people that have come to represent for the state are also here committed to our community. So I definitely want to leave with that. Is Pastor JD in here? I think as she's coming.
We're going to close the ceremony.
All right, okay. Well, if you don't mind, I'm a woman of faith, so I would like to close us in prayer. So right now, if I could ask everybody, if you could close your eyes and bow your heads. Father, we just come before you in the name of Jesus, and Lord, we thank you that you're such a good God. Father, your word says that unity is a commanded blessing, so I thank you that the 96792 is unified, Father God, from Nanakuli all the way to Moku, Lord Jesus. I pray, Lord, that you are the one that are bringing the solutions here. Speak to our leaders, speak to our community, speak to our kids, speak to our parents. Help us to develop a sense, Father God, of solutions, Lord Jesus, that we, Lord, feel compelled and empowered, Lord Jesus, that we're not just being victims of Father God, we are coming from a place of victory. So, Lord, I just thank you for our panel here and for the people that have come, Lord, that have driven from
Pikachu has faith by action, not bullshit.
BS.
Pikachu can tell it straight, regardless. And you're supposed to separate church and state. This is the state. The American laws, you separate church and state. That's why it's called faith.
All the praise and all the honor, and everybody in agreement say,
hallelujah. Amun means Amun Ra and Margaret. What happened to our selfies? Do we get pictures? One-on-one? That's what Pikachu's gonna do. Everybody over here. They're on the front part. Sharon, wait, come. We gotta take selfie on the camera. So we have beautiful Miss Sharon Hurd. We saw the news this morning. I saw you saw it too. Now we have to thank this lady and this guy with these weird glasses, both of our glasses, because we are definitely instrumental to helping this pass. We had a lot of ups and downs to go through. But we have to thank the agricultural woman of the hour, her. So thank you to all of you guys in SB 1249.
And thank you, Pikachu Billionaire.
Ah, you're not gonna keep it straight. Oh, can we take a selfie before you gotta roll out? I know you drove out so far. You now she understands why we don't come for Waianae so often. Why aren't there more people coming to testimony? Because traffic sucks.
I was late.
No worries. 1, 2, 3. Love you, Auntie Sharon. You take care. We'll see you guys next year. Now we got more stuff going on. OHA CEO. Senator Tim Richards right behind. Grab him on that side. Grab him on the outside. We're going to come out that way. Now we're going to grab the selfie with Senator Tim Richards. We're going to do the same thing again and collect as much as possible before he leaves. Because I reported Justin Davis, the Court U.S. Marshal, to him, called his office, talked to Staff Reggie, and Patrice, shout out to you, because I learned to call the staff first. I don't go so hard. So, yeah, so the man's talking to Richards now. Oh, Mike Lambert just walked off the... I'm definitely going to confront Mike. He probably wanted to go pee in the bathroom. And as soon as I get Tim right here from the Big Island, we're going to take a selfie and then do some more things. Wow, we got a lineup. We got a lineup. All right, I see Brenton Alba on the left. I see everyone coming here. Woo! Big Island in the house. And so you can see a lot of stuff coming down. Everyone's coming in and out. We got a whole line coming through. Everyone wants to take their selfies, take their shots. And you know, Pikachu got here for all of you guys. Look at you, all the beautiful ladies. Oh, we're going live still. Say hello to everybody. Hey. There you go. As you know. Oh, Brenton, come on, bro. We're gonna take a selfie. We got our handsome Brenton Alba. We're gonna take a selfie here. Now, we didn't ask you hardcore questions, but is there anything you want to say to our Facebook live stream? Because I know you have many issues. I don't want to say only how in the backyard to the deferral, but you know.
Yeah, it was just nice to come out here to the west side. And it was a peaceful meeting. I think a peaceful collective meeting here in the complaints and complaint for the bottom of it. It was good.
Well, thank you for coming out. I know you're busy, man. The mom's here. Let's go questions.
He's so quiet, tonight.
Well, and wow, we already went to Halifa Backyards last weekend, so.
He's so quiet.
Yeah, we're gonna keep going. Oh, look. Nelson Sua and Mike Lambert. Oh, yeah. Of course, Pikachu gonna film this. Right there. See these two? Mikey, can we take a selfie before you go? Appreciate you. Thank you. That's how it's just straight selfie, because they're not going to answer the 10 billion questions. But we got our senator right here from the Big Island. That Pikachu going to get something. He's talking to his white constituent now. So what's going down? Oh, he's got a line. Tim, you got a line. They were waiting patiently. But, you know, no one's leaving. We got super selfies. Everything's going on. That's the main thing. Yeah.
Oh, we're going to do one. Yeah. We do one to
She's kind, she's sweet, and she's caring. Better than the dudes.
Oh, my God.
I can guarantee that from the Hawaiian. Oh, yeah. Pikachu knows. We got smiles. We got things going on. All right. So talking with the constituent, I'm making the selfie later. Hey, get him now. Yeah, if you're gonna say something, go say something now. So if you guys are here, you gotta say something. If you don't say something, you don't get nothing. That's just the rule of life. You wait in line, do the thing. Oh, you gotta go behind her. So let's see what else we got. We got our CEO right here for OHA. We took other selfies we'll be uploading. See? The ladies line up for Brenton. You don't see dudes. Guaranteed. Our handsome Ed Sniffin.
Right here. Oh, look at that fancy camera picture. I feel like my penis got smaller. Diamond! Here we go again. Our handsome man from the Waianae board. Any questions or comments you'd like to say? Okay, last question because I asked Jeff. When is our committee meeting for your hearing? I smell some patella. Okay, wait. You guys get to see it too. What the most beautiful ladies, the #1 NSW in 808. And look at that handsome man creeping up behind me. Right there, like, bro, because you can see the cop right behind. I can smell them with the boys in blue. I can smell those guys. So we'll be working together with all of you, and we're gonna figure stuff out together. Lesana right there. Everyone say hello. Loves. Aloha. Mike Lambert talking right there. I gotta get Tim Richards. There's the Calais. Everything, bro. Yeah. Are you on social media or we're live streaming now? Yeah, text me, even though we're live streaming. Yeah, we're trying to nail demon traffic. You know. Yeah, you can wear. Got you. Got you. Bro, it's just diesel, bro. It's just diesel. Fucking store with everybody. Everyone's doing good. We got a whole line. Everyone's taking pictures. Now we got super selfies. Everyone's taking selfies everywhere. Shout out to Ōlelo ladies, setting up, prepping everything. Great job. Anyway, we gotta take a selfie with your camera. Put your camera up. Kick off diamond. Okay, shout out to, so show up your camera to our live stream. Say, this is where Pikachu's boto feels smaller. Even though it says ride my boto on my hat from Eat More Vagina Company from Molokai, this lens costs way more than this phone. So that's why we're gonna shout out to this brother from another mother, young blood, willing to do the work. Chihu. Yeah, you. That's how we go. Now we're rolling again. Next shot. Next set. Here we go. Ohana here. Kupuna there. Ow! The most famous, the Kaka. My #1. And she's surrounded by dudes. This picture gonna pass through. And where did Tim Richards go? Where did our senator go? I thought you was Tim Richards with a black hat on. Selfie. Selfie. We're gonna take selfies, Tim. No more than this stuff.
Big Island is Never Beach Waianae, baby.
And we're still live streaming, baby. Yeah, jump in, jump in, jump in. The most handsomest NAVFAC man I ever know, Mr. Vic, right here. Everyone talking story, having a good time. Right. Oh, selfie before you go. No, that was with the group. Because you saw Kahele's stuff right with Nohea.
I have not been able to watch any of the meetings.
Oh, he did a good job. But he said he's out in November.
You mean as chair? Well, sure.
Every cycle, right? Every so I love Kai as a brother, but he only got 40 minutes to change
There's a lot of work to do.
I remember thinking in Lahaina, I was there.
Thank you for all you do too, keeping the public aware. You have lots of Manalo.
You could have given me a budget. I'm proud. Pikachu work for you. I won't write your bills. How much you need? I'll write for $1 billion. I don't care.
Well, keep doing what you're doing.
And that's the Oha CEO. Pikachu talk story. Anybody. You know, I don't give a kukai. Let's bring it. Don't sing it. Right? And we got Singer Samantha Deport right there. Nelson Sewell. Now they're a part of the church crew, which Pikachu doesn't follow. Because I'm independent, nonpartisan. I'm not going to join other churches to go with that bullshit. I'm not going to kiss no one's ass unless it's my wife's. I don't have a wife. No ring. As you know how it is. So, let's finish up this set. See what else we got. Oh! Español, por favor. Uno momento, por favor. What would you like to say in Spanish to everyone who doesn't speak English? Please tell us. Tell us the truth. Tell us the goddamn truth. What is your opinion of tonight? Yeah, you can say Spanglish. English, Spanglish combo. Honest. Okay. It's very important. It's very good. Okay.
Everyone needs to get involved.
Yes, not only Latinos, which are a minority.
Everyone. But the Spanish tend not to get involved. But we need to jump in and help.
And participate. Yes, active participation in English. What she's saying. You have to actively participate, not just mucho habla and bullshit. High five! De nada. Art! I know you're in line. Let's do a mini selfie before you take your picture. We got a live stream with our chair from the Republican Party. Selfie here. Yeah. Any quick words you want to say to our live stream since you're here as the new chair of the HRP?
It's amazing to be a Republican, especially today, 2025 and 26. Honestly, so open Samantha Deport, getting down to the park tonight, connected with the people. Diamond Garcia was here, Brenton Alwa. Wonderful, wonderful people. Great leaders, Republican Party.
And check out his burger place.
Thank you, Pikachu.
All right, thank you. Oh, yeah, they're already going. And you're getting the selfie. Brad, you better. Samantha, they're calling you. Sheila Maderos. Everybody here. Now, Pikachu can sense the camera. Good to see you.
Oh, nice to see you.
Good to see everybody here.
Yeah, I think you're right here.
So now we're going through it. Aww.
Good to see you,
Everybody here, man. Yeah, I know you came all the way out here. Yeah. You want a selfie?
Yeah. Oh, you take off.
Okay, well, this one's a little off. You look better this way. Identical two phones, yeah. You guys know how we roll. We're gonna keep on going. So we'll be closing out soon, but if you guys do come here, we got water right here, free agua, H2O. As we go outside to chillax. Love you guys, appreciate you. See you guys next month, next year.
All right. Have a safe drive. Huh?
Okay, Pikachu.
Yeah, you. Thank you for everything. Thank you for getting none of your questions answered. Thank you for being blasé. We got bought up by one vendor.
Yeah.
And so we're going to wrap up tonight, as you guys can hear and see everything. For everyone in Waianae, Big Island, Maui, Hawaii, Las Vegas. This is what we worked on. Did you feel a solid answer? No, I did not. Do you feel your question satisfied? No, I do not. Not a single one. Am I satisfied? No. Am I full? Yes. So that's why good. If you feed the people first, they'll shut the F up. And now that I left the church, I can say whatever the hell I want because I don't want to deal with bullshit. I'm not going to bullshit you guys. I'm not going to flabbergast him. I'm going to write a bill on Capitol Hill to address these concerns and wait till next year in January. That's what I don't like about the Republicans. Because not only Samantha, all the Republicans on planet Earth are trying to put this coffee talk story and they're going to get all the intel so they can write bills on Capitol Hill for next year. Pikachu don't play that game because I wrote the bill SB 1249. Who wrote on the news? Samantha Court on the news make like she wrote the bill. She didn't write shit. It was Salcedo's and Pikachu. Uno, dos, tres. Ekahi, elu, ekolu. And I want everybody to know, I didn't get time to go back up to tell you all who actually wrote SB 1249 from our Waianae board. And it was inspired by Tiana Wilbur, who actually didn't help us write the bill. She coordinated the community draft bill, and that's what pissed me off so bad that I used the AI to help draft the goddamn bill. And that's how we're at today. And they're closing out. All of them are going to kiss ass, shake hands, and blah, 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 blah. But Pikachu's not about that life. So after that, we're going to close out the set. Love you all. You can donate, support. I got a Venmo at President Billionaire right there. If you guys want to donate, help support the channel. You know, my YouTube got taken down. I'm still on Ō'Lelo TV, but no one pays for TV anymore. It's cable. But shout out to all of you guys. I got Bitcoin, crypto, Ethereum, Ripple. I'll put those tags later. If you guys have crypto, we love you all. And by the way, I got my former boss here. Now that he's retired, I can talk about him. This is Bruce Leonida, Cranston Duke Pia's uncle. So he showed up to help fulfill the law, SB 1249.
All right.
Now, is there anything you'd like to say? Former boss, did you ever imagine that your recruit from the Air Force in the year 2000, 25 years ago, would be helping to write a law about your nephew into law? I never imagined that. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I'm not an agriculture person. I don't know.
He's so speechless after all these years, 25 years.
Yeah.
And Duke's mom is his sister. So shout out to the family. Love you all. And we'll see you guys in the future.
So you go to other events too, like this?
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you don't got social media, guys. But you know, he's an OG. So we'll see you guys later. Peace. Aloha.